time I close my eyes, every time I close my time I close my eyes.
Yes, guys, welcome. We have got to talk about Liverpool Football Club and that heck of a shite show we watched last night. We've got to talk about it, guys. There's so much to talk about. FSG, Jurgen Klopp, Pep Lijnders, what's going on at Liverpool? Let's just play this and we're going to get going. Let's do it. I like that. One more time, and then we're going to go properly. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Right. I don't know. Like, composure. I promise I won't shout too much. What do we do, guys? What do we say? What do we do from here? Last night was terrible. Anyone who watched my watch long and the call-in show straight after it, big up to you guys. Thank you for joining me on that. We expressed our views, but man, I had to sleep on it. And I'm more pissed off than I was yesterday. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm actually more pissed off now than I was yesterday. Yesterday, I was like angry, angry because it's a reaction. You just seen your team get destroyed and played awful football and look awful, and it's a shambolic situation. And then I go to bed and I think, right, I'm going to chill out. I'm going to chill out and do the video tomorrow, and hopefully I will be okay. I've woke up this morning more angry. I am just absolutely pissed off. This football club is dead. This football club is absolutely dead at the moment. It's on its arse. There's no doubt about it. Who to blame, who to moan about? We're going to talk about all that. I've got guests joining me soon as well when they come in. Hopefully, Cav will be here and G will be here as well. So hopefully, some people will be coming and joining quite soon. But we will talk first, just you and me, guys. Just you and me. So Liverpool losing 3-1 to Brentford yesterday. Could have been 5-1. You know, they had 2 goals disallowed. Could have been 5-1. We literally conceded 5 goals to Brentford yesterday. 2 goals were disallowed. You know what I mean? It's just pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. I watched this football club. I'm 41 years of age. I've watched this football club since I was 10 years of age. Been supporting them. My dad's a massive Liverpool fan. I grew up a Liverpool fan because of my dad. I started getting into it when I was about 10, and I've not stopped watching Liverpool for 30 years. And now I'm like at the end of my. I've watched the shit at Liverpool. I've watched the 90s. You know, I grew up watching Liverpool in the 90s being terrible. You know, the early 2000s. And then form turned around, you know. We were good in parts, you know, Gerald Houllier, we won trebles, you know. Under Rafa, we won the European Cup, FA Cup. We've had success, yeah, but nothing till when Jurgen Klopp came in, yeah. Jurgen Klopp came in and transformed this team around, right? He transformed this whole team around. And now we have gone back, in my opinion, to the days when Klopp took over. We are now gone back till the day Klopp took over, and I'm just so I don't know what to make of it. You got Pep Lijnders coaching. I don't know what he does. He's just there for vibes. I swear he is. He's literally just there for vibes and write books. And I've got his books, so I don't care. But you know, shit, crap coach. Get rid. Fucking had enough. Klopp. If he don't change the way he thinks and does things, he has to go as well. FSG, they couldn't fund a 4-year-old's tea party. They need to go as well. You know, there's issues at the football club. The main issue, obviously, is FSG because they own the football club. They invest into the football club. But we have got to stop beating around the bush and look at the man who runs Liverpool Football Club, and that is Jurgen Norbert Klopp. He runs Liverpool Football Club from top to bottom. He is Liverpool's Arsene Wenger. Jamie Carragher basically said it last night. But at the same time, they say these things. But for some reason, no one has got the bottle to start going at Klopp. No one. Like Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher yesterday making it, you know, sort of blaming the ownership and the coaching and all that. But they won't look at the man in charge. You know, yes, we all love Jurgen Klopp. Jurgen Klopp is great. Rival fans hate him because he's great. Yeah, rival fans get annoyed with him because he's great. If he weren't a great manager, rival fans would give a shit about Jurgen Klopp. Do you know what I mean? Rival fans hate him because they know he's great. But everyone can be great. Everyone can have greatness. But at the end of the day, if you are doing things wrong, you should be accused of that. Klopp's coaching this season has been awful. But you're not allowed to say it because you get people go, it's nothing to do with Klopp, it's FSG, they didn't get enough players in. The players they got in are not good enough. I'm not buying that for a second because, as I said yesterday, Brentford had a game plan yesterday. You see the Liverpool players on the pitch? 8 of them will get in Brentford's 11. Can we, you know, and they had a game plan to beat Liverpool yesterday. We're too easy to play against. We're too easy to play against. We are the easiest team to play against in the Premier League. Nottingham Forest put up more of a fight than we do. Just put it that way. Nottingham Forest put up more of a fight than we do. Look at the Nottingham Forest Chelsea game. Look how compact Forest are, not giving up many chances, hard to play against, yeah? Liverpool against Brentford yesterday. Who do you reckon was the harder team to play against? Liverpool or Nottingham Forest? It's facts. It's true. People don't like it, but it's true. It's just, we've got so much to talk about, guys. We've got so much to talk about. It's annoying me. Pep Lijnders, he needs to write another book, probably. This is going to be Pep Lijnders' new book. Here we go. Night Stories by Pep Lijnders. That is going to be the part 2. That is the new book. Baz, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Well, no, I'm not good. You know what? I mean, I've been in hospital since New Year's Eve, so I've only just come back.
Man, you're right.
But you know what? I'm so glad I didn't get to watch that. I mean, I woke up at 8 o'clock last night, and I saw all the madness.
You're right.
What an absolute joke!
Get me worried about you, man. You get me worried about you. You're right.
Yeah. Well,
I know all the stuff behind the scenes. Don't worry. It's all cool.
Yeah.
It's just your thoughts and everything, though, my man. Your thoughts and everything.
Listen, all right. Everything that you're saying, I totally echo. I'm going to try my hardest not to, get your channel flung off. I know it's still early at this time of day, but I am absolutely livid with what happened yesterday. All right, I didn't get to watch the whole match. Yeah, I mean, didn't get to watch the match at all. I just watched a few, Sky's, highlights. All right, but what I saw was disgusting, disgraceful, and just, we were getting bullied by Brentford. They've been doing this to a few big teams. Yeah, we knew what was coming. Yeah, we knew what was coming. And we're going to put out a display like that. It's absolutely pathetic. And you know what? I will blame Klopp for this. Definitely. And there needs to be questions about Jurgen Klopp. And what you had said earlier on, or just a few minutes ago, about this reminds you of when Jurgen Klopp just took over. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. At the end of the day, all right, fine. There's a gap pole and there's whatever. Yeah. But I'm sorry, when you lose your players, when you start losing players in the summer and you don't replace them. Yeah. And you've got nothing. We had no striker on the bench yesterday. Ben Doak didn't even get put in. Yeah, you're playing. All right, fine. I heard he was decent yesterday, or okay, Oxlade-Chamberlain. Yeah, but this guy doesn't even have a future at Liverpool. Why are you starting him over Carvalho, who's been decent? He didn't even get a look in yesterday either. Yeah, he's a kind of manager, right? That, you know what? We were just talking about this in the previous show, and big up to Ensman TV, man. Go and check that video. But the thing is, all right, he needs to be going upstairs, smashing tables, throwing chairs, and saying that I need money for midfield or to improve this squad as well. So it's not just FSG. FSG are to blame in this as well. But at the same time, we've got to look at Jurgen Klopp, because you know what? His sentiments and stuff like that, yeah, it's not going to do well for Liverpool or any club that he goes and manages and stuff like that in the future if he does leave. The thing is, some of his players that, his core players, the ones that he's trusted and or believes in, yeah, half of them are going this season at the end of the season. Firmino might be going. Oxlade, every day, he's a new signing. He's like a new signing. Really? He's going to be going. He's out of contract. Naby Keita, James Milner, players like that he totally trusts. At some point, they're going to be going. And his sentiments won't mean nothing. He needs to do something. It's absolutely pathetic. I mean, I could go on and on, but I won't. But, I'm absolutely livid.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, so when we did player prediction, like team prediction and all that before the game yesterday, and like we try to get out. I asked the guys what midfield does everyone want, what midfield does everyone want, and everyone said Harvey Elliott can't play this game. Bring in Naby Keita. Right, bring in Naby. Right, go from the strength straight away. You know, and what it showed in the second half is that when Jurgen knew he got it wrong. He knew he got the first half completely wrong, right? So he changed it in the second half and actually played the team he come out in the second half is the team everyone wanted to play in the first half. Because as Ash said in the comments there as well, thanks to the super chat, Doug, I've starred it. I'll read it out in a minute, my man. When you got to respect Brentford, everyone knows Brentford's strengths. Why did we go away to Brentford with that? I thought we were egotistical. I thought we were out of order, playing that ridiculous high line and that open game of football against a very good Brentford side. I thought we disrespected Brentford by the way we set up. I thought we totally disrespected them, thinking, these are nobody Brentford. Yeah, we'll play this open, high line, expansive football. It'll beat them down, and we'll beat them eventually in the end. You know, disrespectful. Brentford are a good football side. They just beat Man City. Who's our scouting team? Who's in our team that goes and watches? Did anyone in our team of Klopp's coaching staff go and watch Brentford versus Man City? Did anyone? Did anyone do that? Did anyone go and watch Liverpool draw 3-3 to Brentford last season at their ground? Did they go back and look at the tapes? These should be work you should be doing. And they didn't do it. They went and took the fucking piss and played an open, expansive game of football against a very good Brentford team at home. Brentford have never lost once they take the lead at home. And we thought, you know what? We're going to play this really high line, really expansive, open up the game, make it really, really open, and we're going to go from the off. What are you doing? Van Dijk's got no pace anymore. So you're putting Van Dijk in a situation where Van Dijk is going to look horse shit. Van Dijk looked horse shit yesterday because you're putting him in a situation he can't handle anymore because he hasn't got the pace.
And a potential injury that could cost us now because of it.
Also, yeah, and with that injury, he had a terrible, terrible knee injury that can end some careers, yeah? Can end some careers, right? So what do? We don't protect him when we come back. We continue playing this ridiculously high line when he's lost a bit of pace and continuously getting him twisting and turning and running back the other way all the time on a dodgy knee. What sense does that make? What sense does that make? Matip is 31 with no pace. Let's play a high line. You've got to put your ego to one side. There is nothing wrong in going, do you know what? There is nothing wrong in going, this Brentford team are all right, you know, especially at home. They're a decent side. They're physical and they're very quick on the counter-attack. There's nothing wrong in your ego to go, you know what, guys? Drop back 5 yards. Get a little bit tighter. Let them come on to us a little bit because on the ball we'll be better. And us play counter-attack ourselves. Let's not all go squeezing up into their half of the foot game. Virgil and Konate, sitting in Brentford's own half. You know, Tsimikas and Trent as wingers right up top, yeah? And our midfield is pressed higher in our forwards, right? So the gap between our midfield and centre-backs are like that, right? One loose ball in midfield, ball over the top, goal. Every single time at the moment. Why are we not learning? Why are we not learning? I don't get it. Every single time. Every game we play. All Liverpool do, high line, full-backs as wingers, getting up. Midfield is here. They're by the forwards. Your defence is here. There's no one in this massive middle of the pitch right here. In the middle of the pitch, it's completely empty. Liverpool don't win the second ball back anymore. Liverpool lose the second ball because we lose possession. The turnover, ball over the top. Just use one quick forward to get on the end of it, or one strong striker that can hold the ball up, get everyone in front, and then got a shot on a goal. We do it every week. What is the coaching happening, Baz? Where's the coaching?
Mate, you know what? It just makes me think, you know what? It was New Year's. They didn't give a damn. They just, like you said, they totally disrespected that team. They totally disrespected that team. They set up wrong. Yeah. We got bullied. We got buoyed. Yeah. We got absolutely hammered. We got destroyed. You know, I mean, I don't get it. In training, what are they doing in training? You know, apart from being injured. It just doesn't make sense. It just does not make sense. But again, it comes to what he's got in, you know, what he's got in that core, in that pool of the squad. Yeah. They had Naby Keita. They could have brought Naby Keita on. Yeah. All right, fine. He might not be here next season or whatever. Yeah. But you know what? He's more of a physical man than Harvey Elliott. Yeah. It's a physical game. Yeah. It's a physical game. They needed to do a lot more yesterday. They needed to shore that midfield, match them. They didn't match them. They needed to shore that midfield to give, like you said, give the back line an opportunity. It was just pathetic. Everything about that game, okay, was pathetic. The highlights that I saw. I'm so glad I didn't get to watch it, because I probably would have been in the hospital with a heart attack. It was absolutely disgraceful, honestly. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the craziest thing about it as well is we've not been playing well, all right? Grant that, yeah. We've not been playing well, but, you know, we've been churning results, or we've just been getting the results. Yesterday, we would have been 5 points behind second place. All right, fine. It's still possible to make it up and all the rest of it and that, yeah. But right now, you got to win ugly. You know, we're playing trying to play nicey football, yeah, and it's not coming off and stuff like that. There's a lot of players that need to be taken, to have accountability in that game as well. It's not just Klopp. You know, the people like the Salahs of this world, yeah. Nunes was pathetic yesterday as well. You know what I mean? And again, that's 5 minutes of 5-minute highlights and stuff like that. These players need to take accountability, not just Klopp. And if Klopp is not doing, is not doing things in training and stuff like that, do you know what? If you can influence a game, yeah, do it. This is where we need our players. There was nothing there. Nothing there. Even Van Dijk was poor. That's probably the worst I've seen of him in a Liverpool shirt, whether he was injured or not, whichever. It was bad. It was really, really bad. The only person that, couldn't do much about anything, all right, was Alisson.
Yeah, I feel for Alisson. He's the one player I do feel for.
All season he's been brilliant. And then he's got that in front of him. Konate, big Konate, yeah, big Van Dijk, yeah, were getting bullied yesterday. Should be ashamed of themselves, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened yesterday. Some of the players, man, like, there's so many players. We've got Sam, if you're available, mate, I sent you a message in your Twitter, man. Look, I don't understand Klopp's tactics at the moment, right? I've said this in my watch along, right? If Klopp wants to play a certain way of football, I understand it, right? I understand he wants to play a certain way of football. But his system at the moment does not work with the players he has, right? So what Klopp wants, he wants to play a high line with the midfield pressing and the forward line pressing, yeah? Right? So if them two press together, you contain the opposition in their half. So if you contain the opposition in their half long enough, you eventually break them down, you score goals, they make mistakes, you counter on their mistakes. That's what Liverpool have been great at for years under Jurgen Klopp, right? The problem is now, we've got a midfield that don't do that job. Thiago doesn't press. That's not what he does. He's not a presser, right? He's a luxury footballer. He likes to play in a double pivot where he has free time to he can be that magic man on the pitch that can find passes no one else can and be creative. But he's not a presser, so he shouldn't be in the team. Elliott is not even a midfielder. I feel sorry for Harvey Elliott. Harvey Elliott is a right winger that Jurgen Klopp is turning into a number 8, and then he's asking Harvey Elliott to press when Harvey Elliott don't know how to press. So you're asking Harvey Elliott to press. You're asking Thiago, 2 players who don't really know how to press off the ball, right? Then you got Fabinho, who does know how to press on the ball, but the man, his legs are so dead that, and he's left on his own because Thiago and Elliott are trying to press, but they don't know how to. So then he's left all on his own, and he has to cover the whole pitch. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So you got a midfield 3 that can't do the job Jurgen Klopp wants them to do, right? And then you got a forward line. Yeah, Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Mo Salah has become a player that just wants numbers. Mo Salah now is a player that just wants numbers. I don't blame him. He's got to an age now. He just wants to score goals. Fine. Make him your number 9 then. If this is the case, and what does Mo, and I'll tell the chat right now, this is the chat as well. What does Mo actually give us if he don't score goals? Please someone tell me. If Mo's not scoring goals, what is he giving us? Because he's not really running anymore. He doesn't really come back and cover Trent. He walks around a lot. He's just there to score goals, right? So why is he playing right wing? Play him as a number 9. If he wants to be a goal scorer, hold up. Salah is great at holding up the ball with his back to goal because he's got good strength and he's a finisher, right? Play him as number 9 then. Play around him. Stop playing him right wing. Pointless. Darwin Nunes. I've said this for a while now. Darwin Nunes is not a number 9. People have got to get it into their heads. Darwin Nunes is best on the left wing. People might not like to hear this because we bought Darwin Nunes apparently as a striker. That's what everyone thought, yeah? Right? Apparently we did. But Darwin Nunes' best performance have been at the left wing for Liverpool. Play him left wing. Right? We need Bobby back. I can't believe I'm saying this. We need Bobby back. Our best performances this season has been Bobby in the middle, Darwin on the left, and Mo on the right. Do you know why? Because Bobby still is the linchpin to this system. He is still the system. You notice that when he plays. He plays through the middle. He links into midfield. He's the bloke. We haven't got a striker, by the way. The way Klopp likes to play as well, he likes his number 9s, right? Since Klopp's been at Liverpool, you look at all the number 9s we had. He got rid of them all. Benteke went, yeah? Origi never really played, went, right? He likes that false 9 position. He likes his number 9 for Liverpool to come and be the link between midfield and attack, right? So you're playing Darwin Nunes as the number 9. Darwin Nunes can't link the play. What we're doing? So what you're doing? It makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense. Jota does it better. You know, when Jota's a number 9, he does that link play a little bit better. Not as good as Bobby, but it's better than Darwin's link play. That's why I've been saying it. Darwin on the left looks better. People might not like it, and people might be like, we bought him as a striker, he's a number 9. He might be in the future. But we got to talk about the right now. All right? I'm not on about next year. I'm not on about next season. Liverpool Football Club need to get points. I don't care how we play. I don't think we can. I don't care if we play shit, right? It's about picking up points. I don't care if we played shit against Brentford yesterday, but if we picked up 3 points, I don't care, right? We move on, right? Played shit against Leicester, picked up 3 points. Played shit against Villa, picked up 3 points. Pick them up. Pick these points up. Play players
last season.
Yeah, just play players in. Just play players in their more natural position right now. Look, Darwin Nunes will come a good number 9 eventually, but right now he's better off the left-hand side. He just is. Big up ends. Just explain why he isn't a forward when he scored 32 goals last season up front. Not left. He can't cross. Why do Mo Salah and Mane cross the ball? They play on the wings. I don't get this. He can't cross stuff. I don't get this can't cross stuff. I never saw Mane and Salah really ever cross the ball from the wings. Did anyone else? I mean, I don't get this, so you can't cross stuff. The whole point of them playing in the wide areas is that you cut inside and come inverted and then come into goal that way, yeah? It's not about them being wingers and crossing the ball, is it? I mean, I don't get that analogy. I really don't. Plus, Mo Salah scores 30 goals a season playing right wing. Sadio Mane used to score 20 goals a season playing left wing. You can be a goal scorer and still play on the wing. Do you know what I mean? We've got to stop. And at the moment, Darwin looks better on the left-hand side. He might eventually be good enough to play the number 9 position.
The thing is, he's going to have to play the number 9 now, because when Gakpo comes, that's exactly where they're going to play Gakpo on the left until these other players come back from injury. So, you know, this is the now at the minute.
Yeah, exactly. F off right now. Nunes in the middle. So next year, future years, he'll be internal. Otherwise, what happens to the future? You got to play. Look, I don't understand what everyone's watching. People might be watching a different game to me. All Darwin's best performances at Liverpool have come on the left wing. I don't know what everyone's watching. All Darwin's best performances are coming off the left wing for Liverpool.
I don't
know what everyone's watching.
You're right. The thing is, you're right. He has been playing better on the left wing. But the thing is, all right, I know what you're saying, Jamie, all right? You know, like obviously with Mane and with Salah, they've scored like 20 odd goals and stuff like that from the left or from the right. I think initially they bought him thinking he was the striker. But with all the injuries and stuff like that, I mean, if they had, you know, let's just say they had Diaz this season. All right, he was there this season, but then obviously with his injuries and whatnot, yeah, he's had to play in that position, and they've obviously had Bobby to play in the centre because obviously he's proven and stuff like that. Yeah, he's done well. He's done well, but in the long term, he's gonna be that striker, and he did score 30 odd goals last season. But at this moment in time, yeah, he has been playing well on the left. But the problem is sometimes when you're playing well, great, he's playing well, but he's still not. He's doing too much, and that is what's ruining him at the moment. He needs to be up there, and there's other players that need to do the work for him, because this thing about him having to run at left back, having to run and defend, this is a striker. He is a striker, but the thing with him is they need someone that's going to feed this striker. And because we've not had your Diaz's, and when Diaz was there, he done well with him in the Arsenal game before Diaz had got injured. You know, Salah has been trying to do whatever he can to kind of assist, because we've been knocking him in the beginning of the season, and, you know, understandably. But the thing is, all right, he does need to play up there. They need to get Gakpo in now, yeah, and just get this guy firing. And when he fires, he's going to score goals. Thiago is another player, yeah, where, you know, we'd say he's a luxury player. He can offer more. He offers more playing forward than going to the back. A player like him is wasted having to defend and doing, Fabinho's work. Fabinho's been poor this season, yeah, but he's pretty much doing what Fabinho should be doing, and Thiago should be looking to play those passes into the front, because he's got that in his locker. And it's not been happening this season. And we've got to ask why. The system that Jurgen Klopp is playing, he's getting it wrong. And he's gonna, you know, trust me, he's gonna see it this season if we don't finish top 4.
Yeah, I agree. Like everyone's saying about Darwin as well, saying the midfielder's not helping him. He plays in the middle. We played 4-4-2 and he played in the middle. The days we played 4-4-2, Salah and Darwin were wide. They were wide strikers playing off the left and the right. They weren't playing through the middle. But what I agree with all that, by the way. But I'm talking about what everyone thinks forgetting is I'm talking about the here and now. How do you get the best out of this team in the here and now? Yeah. So if the players available to you are Thiago, Fabinho, and Elliott, yeah, right, and they don't press, they can't press. It's impossible, right? Don't play Darwin as a 9. When Darwin showed his best performances for Liverpool so far off the left-hand side because of Diaz's injury, and it worked, Klopp fell into something, yeah? He just fell into something. He put Darwin out left, and it worked there, right? Continue it. He looks better out there. He's got 3 and 3 when he played out on the left. As Michael said, he got 10 in 5 for Benfica last season playing out on the left. He can play there. He's not a natural 9, as I keep telling everybody. A natural 9 can only play in the 9 role. He can play in fluid positions. He's as good as left as he is in the 9. We're all acting like Darwin's balling it as a number 9. This is what I don't get the argument about. We're all acting like Darwin is balling it out as a number 9, right? But in fact, if you look at him, he's actually been playing better off the left-hand side for Liverpool. Play him off the left.
Who would you play? All right. So let's just say if you were Jurgen Klopp, or you weren't Jurgen Klopp. You are the Liverpool manager, and this is what you've got at the moment. What would your front three be?
What if
as we stand?
As we stand now.
Yeah. As we stand now.
What were the injuries?
With the injuries, yeah.
So Bobby will be back for the next game, won't he, apparently? So, yeah, I'll have Bobby through the middle, Salah on the right, Darwin on the left. I think it works the best. It works the best because we need that link player between attack and midfield. That's how Klopp plays. So we're playing this. Our system, like everyone keeps thinking our system's changed. It ain't. Our system is exactly the same as it's been in the Klopp years. It hasn't changed. We play a high line. The fullbacks are attacking and creative. The midfield try and press, and the forwards try and press. We try and win second balls back. Then we counter press in the final third of the pitch and feed the forwards. Nothing's changed, but the personnel's not the same. The personnel's not the same. Do you know how much, right? How much I want the Brexit midfield back now that we all used to take the piss out of? We used to take the piss out of that Brexit midfield. Milner, Henderson and Gini Wijnaldum, yeah? We all used to take the piss out of that. I guarantee everyone in the chat, me, you, Baz, everyone would take that back right now because it worked for the system. This is what people are not getting. I've been saying this for a while now, and people keep going, Jamie, you're talking bollocks. Thiago does not fit our system. I've been saying it for ages, and I keep being proved right. He don't fit our system. He doesn't press. He doesn't press. Well, look at when the reason we're better in the second half. Keita came on. People might not like it. Keita presses without the ball, and also what Keita does, he runs with the ball. He runs with the ball. He goes at the opposition, and because he goes at the opposition, it helps you get forward a little bit more and squeeze the opposition. Yeah, and he presses without the ball. And he presses without the ball. You can't keep playing a system of high line attacking fullbacks, yeah? Because if you play high line with attacking fullbacks, right, you got to make sure your midfield is doing its job. Because if the midfield is not doing its job and it's not pressing and winning the second balls back, right, then you're exposed. And guess what? He's not changed the system, but he plays Elliot, Thiago and Fabinho, who none of them press. So when they lose the second ball, guess what? We're exposed every single time. So the defenders look shit because of it, because they're having to defend far too much. The old adage goes, you shouldn't know how good your defenders can defend. That's an old thing in Italy, they used to say. Yeah, you shouldn't really find out how good your defenders are, right? Because your midfield should be doing the job. Virgil looks shit at the moment because Klopp is so thingy of having Virgil in the team even when he's not in form and playing this high line that he's exposed all the time. What do you want him to do? He's exposed all the time. Yeah? It must be draining. Virgil, Matic and Konate, they must be knackered every game because they're getting smashed upon every minute of the game for 90 minutes because they're always exposed. And you're playing a high line with them. It's ridiculous.
This is where when we talk about, that there's a blame game there, yeah. This is why you have to blame Jurgen Klopp in a lot of this because he is the man that runs the team. He's the one that is in charge of recruiting players. Yes, all right, people can argue, yeah, that our owners don't spend much. They spend money. If they need something, yeah, they will spend it. It's up to the manager to go out there and say, yo, this is what I need. And that is the problem. Like you said, the system, okay, over those years when you had your Brexit midfield, yeah, they were hard working. They did the job. Now you don't have your genies no more. Yeah, your Naby Keita's, and people know what I think about Naby Keita, but the last couple of games he's been decent. Yeah, he needed to start in that game for sure. Yeah, but this is where he needs to be telling people upstairs, I need midfielders and I need them now. You know, they don't go and spend big. I'd get that, yeah. But you know what? The acrobat. Why is there no talks at the moment with him? You know, he's a good player to be putting in this squad right now because we need it. We need that cover. You can have your Fabinho in there, yeah, in a double pivot, yeah, with him, yeah, and that team ain't leaking goals because you got two DMs. Back in the days when you had your Manchester Uniteds, when you look at them, they had their Roy Keane and Paul Inces, yeah? There were hard mans in there. When you look at our teams from the, you know, the 80s, you had your Graham Souness and you had your players there, your solid players to protect your Alan Hansons of this world, your whoever's of this world, yeah? What is going on? I don't get it. Why can this manager not go to them and say, this is what needs to be done, and gets the thing done? It's a joke. It's a joke. He's definitely accountable for this, yeah? And, you know, you're going to play Harvey Elliott in the game like this, in midfield, when it's not his natural position. I feel sorry for this guy because this guy's going to get destroyed. And same thing with Carvalho. Carvalho last year played with a big striker, Mitrovic, yeah? For Fulham, yeah? They got promoted, yeah? He was putting in numbers. He was playing so well. He played well in his last game. He's never been seen again. You know, and if he's got an issue, all right, or he doesn't play with a striker, when you know, just pointing out earlier on, yeah, you know, that Chelsea got Nkunku. Why couldn't we have gone in for him? Because he was he was on a short, like a 50 million thing, yeah. It's around an FSG kind of signing type, yeah, in terms of numbers. Why couldn't they have got him to replace Bobby Firmino? And looks like Bobby Firmino is going to be going soon.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, you're all correct. Big up, Doug. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. Carvalho and Elliott are not ready. They need to go out and loan. We cannot rely on youngsters to bail us out. This midfield has been neglected, and it may get worse before it gets better. Yeah, I mean, you're damn right. Luke, hi lads. Don't know if Virgil is injured, but I think he's got to be dropped anyway. To be honest, he's miles below par. Anyway, great content as always, Shane. Big up, Luke. Thank you very much, my friend.
Big up, Luke.
No, the Virgil thing, I think Klopp said he's actually all right. So, you know, I was saying it yesterday. If he was legitimately injured, he wouldn't be sitting in the cold, would he? If he had a muscle injury, I was like, he wouldn't be sitting outside on the bench in the cold if he had a muscle injury. I think Klopp said he's actually all right, but yeah, it's just, look, we got to be honest, guys. We literally have to be honest, and we can't sit here and pretend everything's rosy, right? FSG are to blame, yeah. They don't invest into the football club, right? There's no doubt about that. They're to blame. But they don't invest in the football club, but in the same way, they do invest in the football club. Because if you look at the last 12 months from January to January, Liverpool bought 3 strikers, 3 forwards, Diaz, Gakpo, Darwin, right? For around £100 million, right? So they do invest, but in the wrong areas. So money's there. Why didn't we just get 1 forward and buy 2 midfielders? And we wouldn't be in this fucked up situation right now. Do you know what I mean?
Too many.
Why? Yeah. Why have we, like, when we were going to buy tChamberlain in the summer, yeah, and he went to Real Madrid, why did we have no one as backup? Was there no midfielder in Europe that could help Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool out? Or is Klopp that naive to think no one else could come in and ruin his projects?
Jamie, Calcido. Calcido was about 50 million quid in the summer. We could have got him as well.
It's what I'm saying. We got so many forwards, but we bought 1 midfielder in 4 years. How does this make sense? How does this make sense that the owners and Jurgen Klopp are like, right, January to January, we're going to get 3 forwards in. We've got a whole brand new forward line. I don't know if they're that scared that they were going to lose Mane, Bobby, and they didn't know if they were going to lose Salah or not, so they needed to get forward line, right? But Salah signed his new contract. We still bought 2 new forwards after that. So, we didn't have to sell Minamino. We didn't have to sell Origi, right? Because they went for nothing. It's not like we made shitloads of money on them. Origi went for free, and Minamino went for 14 mil. It's not like we made, the money was so good we had to let them go. Do you know what I mean? That's not the problem. So why didn't we just go, right, we'll buy... If they liked Gakpo or Darwin, they should have just chose one, yeah? Just chose one, right? And then with the rest of the money, here you go, let's go and buy some midfielders. Even this Gakpo signing, right? Why buy him when there's a midfielder shortage? Go get another forward next summer. What we got to do? Buy 5 midfielders in the summer?
The thing is, Gakpo. The thing is, I get what you're saying. Gakpo, I think, was a deal they had to do now because it would have cost him a lot more potentially later on. I don't know. Maybe not. We'll never know. But definitely the midfielders. I mean, sometimes it's important that you just don't get body fillers. But the thing is, there are players available. I'm a guy. You can't put your, you don't put your eggs in one basket, and that's what they're doing with potentially the Jude Bellingham thing. Yeah, but the thing is, all right, they did need to. When, like you said, you're really right. When we didn't get Tchouaméni, yeah, we should have had another backup in plan. You're going into a season, yeah, with players that are a lot older, and over the last couple of years, injury hits squad. Naby is not going to give you games this season. Ox is the same thing. When they talk about we've got 11 midfielders or, in our team and we don't need anything, yeah? He knew that there was a problem because he had to go and get a Melo on loan, and even that didn't work out, yeah? He knew there was issues with midfield. So I don't get why he doesn't go and, make noise. Again, I'm going to keep saying it. He needs to make noise. FSG do put out money because, like you quite rightly said, they spent 100 million on a forward. So they've got money to get midfielders in, and there are players available out there. What's going on with the scouting network? Because there's a lot of players. Look at Enzo, for example. Yeah, he was offered to Wolves before he went to Benfica. Yeah, why is our scouting not looking at people like him? They only bought him for about 10 million quid. Why couldn't we got him? We ain't doing enough, right? There's a problem from the top down to the manager, and the manager needs to do something about it. Why is he signing a new contract knowing that he's not going to get money? Is something wrong with him? I really believe he's turning into an Arsene Wenger, and that we need to be very careful about that, because if he is going to carry on like this in the next year or two, yeah, we need to be getting this guy out now. Liverpool were not Jurgen Klopp FC. It's Liverpool. We were here before him, and you will be here after him. Yeah, this sentimental stuff, all right, needs to stop now. Okay, it ain't no joke. Next year you're going to have Newcastle, proper challenging. You got Man City, Chelsea is spending money as well. Yeah, Arsenal are doing bits. There's 4 teams now. Back in the days where it was 2 clubs and that's going to go. And if we don't get a manager that's ruthless enough, yeah, to change this team, yeah, we're going to get left behind. And even with potential new owners, yeah, this could be a problem as well, because Jurgen Klopp might not want to spend that money. And that's a problem for me.
Yeah, I agree. Big up, Ash. We changed our tactics at Lijnders' influence. Yep, I agree. And we're being bullied high line / no press with unathletic players, Thiago and Elliot. It used to be Prime, Hendo and GD, exactly, Ash. Big up, James, as well. G, I sent you the link in your Twitter, man, if you want to jump on. What'd you say? Guys, we're thinking Klopp wants all these players, but he knows we ain't got the money to grab them. I laugh at that. He's so tapped. Yeah, I mean, look. Klopp has just got to change this round. Klopp has got to change this round. He has got to change his tactics. He's got to take his ego and put it to one side and go, you know what? We're going to have to change this up the way we play. There's nothing wrong with it. Now, if you talk to a lot of other Liverpool YouTubers, yeah, right, and they talk about me, they talk about Jamie as the positive Liverpool fan, never sees a problem, yeah, right, and it's not that I'm a positive Liverpool fan. What it is that, You know, when things are going well, I just think it's going well and I won't say anything. I'm on the happy train, you know. But when things need to be said, things need to be said, I will say it. If I think FSG have done a good job at the time, I will say FSG have done a good job at the time. Why does everyone want them out? If FSG are doing a bad job, I'll say it. For me, FSG need to sell the football club now. They need to sell the football club. Even the Boston Red Sox fans want them gone. There's something is happening with that organisation. I don't know what's happening with the FSG organisation, but something they're doing is not only fucking off Liverpool fans, it's fucking off the Boston Red Sox fans as well. They were protesting. They want them gone, right? So there's an issue in that organisation, right? So they need to sell up and they need to leave. But I can't pretend, I'm not going to sit here and pretend they didn't do a good job at Liverpool. I'm not going to pretend, right? When Liverpool won the league and Champions League and everything was going great and we was this immense side, right? That ain't just Klopp. That's the ownership as well. It's everything to do with Liverpool Football Club. It goes from top to bottom to the people you see don't even know behind the scenes. It goes to everyone. They're all part of the whole team, yeah? So you do your job. So we praise them, right? When they're doing shit and there's problems, you got to fucking have a go at them. FSG need to sell up and leave the football club, right? No problem. I want them gone now. But Jurgen Klopp is always the one that is the scapegoat. He's the one no one says anything about. You know, everyone's like, no, Klopp don't do nothing wrong. It's all FSG's fault. Klopp's only playing Harvey Elliott because he's got no midfielders else to choose from. That's just a lie. You know,
it's down to him.
Yeah,
not
Klopp loves Harvey Elliott. That's why he plays. Yeah, Klopp's making mistakes. John W. Henry isn't sitting at home in Boston in his penthouse while Linda's sucking him off, looking at his phone and going, right, I'm going to tell, hang on, Linda, stop there mid-flow. I've just got to tell Jurgen that he needs to play a high line and really expansive football with shit players. Yeah? He's not doing that. It's Jurgen. That's Jurgen. He is deciding to play a system that don't suit the players he has available to him right now. Do you know what I mean? That's the issue here, right? You've got to change what you... So if you've got these players, yeah? If I've got a midfielder, Thiago Keita, who played just then? Thiago, Fabinho and Harvey Elliott, yeah? Right? I'm not playing a high line because then three midfielders can't press. So why would I play a high line and expansive football when I've got three midfielders that can't press? What sense does that make? When Thiago was at Barcelona and Benfica, at Borussia Dortmund, did anyone see him? Yeah, Bayern Munich. Sorry, yeah, apologies, Borussia Dortmund fans. When he was at Bayern Munich and Barcelona, did anyone see a pressing machine in Thiago?
No.
Did anyone see a pressing machine in Thiago or an exceptionally good player that can defend but plays in a double pivot, protected, and then he's allowed to do his thing because the protection allows him to get on the ball, create, cause havoc, and be exceptional on the ball, yeah? Yeah, that's what you want from Thiago, right? But what did Liverpool see? What did Liverpool see? They see something completely different to the rest of us, normal mortals. They go, you know that Thiago was at Barcelona and Bayern Munich? He can be a pressing machine. He can be a pressing machine. Let's go and get him. Right, we got him in. Everyone was happy when Thiago came. 24 million Thiago, great business, excellent. Fucked us on the Sadio Mane deal, by the way. But at the time, great business, right? I'm thinking, good. Play him in a double pivot. You know, play him in a double pivot. Change the tactics up, right? Because Thiago's not a presser. Don't play 4-3-3 with Thiago. What do? 4-3-3 with Thiago. Injured every week because he can't run. You're asking Thiago to cover so much ground, his legs can't take it.
At this age, at this age, he shouldn't be. That's my biggest thing with Thiago. Yeah, all right. Listen, he's not Kevin De Bruyne, yeah. But let me tell you this, all right. He we are spoiling him. All right, we are destroying this guy at this age that is coming. All right, he needs to have not an easier life, but you know what? He needs to be influencing going forward. He shouldn't be running back. He's doing that. He's picking up injuries, he's getting knocks on his ankle, and these kind of things. Yeah, it's literally destroying him. He's going to end his career like soon. You know, he's going to pick up one nasty injury, and we're going to say, "Oh, but he never lived his potential." That's because they're playing him the wrong way. Play him in midfield. Play him where Harvey Elliott is playing. All right, let him put those balls into the front three. They're not doing that. They're having him as a DM. Go buy a flipping acrobat. You get me? Let him do that shit there. You get me? And play this guy, you know, somewhere where he can influence the game better. The influencing the game can be so many things. All right. At this moment, he's not a defensive midfielder. Yes, he can play there, yeah. But when he did that when he was younger, fine. This time now, he needs to be doing more forward stuff. Go and get your younger DM, yeah, or someone that a CM, yeah, that can do what he's doing. But they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that, and it's showing. It's showing that we're losing in our midfield. We don't have the experience going forward, and that is our problem.
I just don't get this club at the moment. I like Thiago as a footballer, by the way. For anyone like, Clips being like, having a go at Thiago. I love Thiago as a footballer. He's a proper world-class footballer on his day, yeah. But we're putting him in a situation that doesn't suit his game. And he's having to adapt. The problem is, Thiago is obviously a very, very good professional, yeah, and a great guy. So he's not moaning and bitching about it. What he's doing, he's getting his head down and he's adapting to the way Liverpool play, right? That's what Thiago's doing, which much love to him for that. He's a proper professional. But that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't be getting a Thiago in with his age. He was, what was he, 28, 29 when we bought him? The age is what he is, yeah? And the way he plays and go to him, right, you've got to change to our style. That shouldn't be the case. If that's the case, don't buy him at all. Don't buy him at all. Because at this moment in time, he doesn't suit the system Jurgen Klopp wants to play. This is what I keep saying. Buy players that suit our system. I've been saying this for fucking about 12 months now since I started this channel, right? And everyone keeps telling me I'm wrong, but I think everyone's starting to see it now. You don't need world-class players in our midfield for this to work. You just don't. No. You don't. You need world-class players around it. So, I've already said it. I would have the Brexit midfield. If the Brexit midfield played yesterday, we win. Because they press. You know, I'm not on about their ages now, but, you know, you go back to Wijnaldum, Henderson and Milner a few years back. You put that in that midfield yesterday, we don't lose that game. We don't lose that game. The reason is Milner presses, Hendo presses, Wijnaldum presses. And then they all retain possession of the football and keep it simple, right? That is what Klopp wants from his midfield, right? So you've got that midfield, then you can play that high line. You can play your attacking wingers, your attacking fullbacks. That's what you want. That's what Klopp wants. And then it'll work. But you're playing a tactic that don't suit the players around you. You're telling me you got that team yesterday. You're telling me a player, Alisson, Virgil, Konate, Tsimikas, Trent, Thiago, Fabinho, your Salahs, your Darwins, you know, all them will get in their team, right? Right? All them will get in Brentford side. So let's not pretend that 11 yesterday wasn't good enough to beat Brentford. But if you play in the way they played with that high line, expensive football and play into Brentford's hands, which we played, you're going to get beat. Don't matter the players you have on the pitch. If you play in a way that look at PSG, yeah? PSG just got battered the other day by Nantes, weren't it? 3-1 or something like that, right? Yes. PSG shouldn't lose a game in that French league with the players they got. But if they don't play a system that suits the players they got, lesser teams will capitalise on it and beat them. No matter if you got Messi in your team, Neymar in your team, Mbappe in your team. Well, it doesn't matter if you're playing the wrong system. You know, why don't people understand that? it's not always about the quality of footballer. It's about the right player that fits your system. And if Thiago, quality player, but if he don't fit your system, then it's an issue. Harvey Elliott is a right winger being made a central midfielder that don't know how to press. How does it work playing this system, then? You get exposed. Why do you reckon Trent has looked awful this season? Trent has come in for more abuse this season than any season he's been since he's been a first teamer at Liverpool. It's because he's getting so exposed week in and week out because no one is protecting. Everyone's losing the ball. Virgil has been dog shit this season because he's been overexposed. You're overexposing players all the time. It's going to be harder for them.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Get players right. What Klopp's got? This is what Pep Lijnders and Klopp's got to do. Firstly, what Klopp's got to do, he's got to bring Pep Lijnders and give him his P45. Right? He's got to go. Right? This is what Klopp's got to do. If Klopp wants to keep his job, and I'm being serious here as well, Klopp's got to be ruthless. I want to see the ruthless Jurgen back. At the moment, we got puppy dog Jurgen. Yeah, who's just licking arse. Right? Yeah, I want to see ruthless Jurgen Klopp back. I want to see ruthless. Look how he got rid of Bovac. Didn't even speak to him for 4 years after he got rid of him. Yeah, I want that Jurgen back. I want ruthless Jurgen.
Yeah, that was the biggest mistake he made.
I want ruthless Jurgen back. Right? Get Pep Lijnders in the ball. Get Pep Lijnders to go, right, Pep, it's not working out. You're coaching shit, mate. Keep the book. Right? just and off you go. I wish you well in your future endeavours. Blah de blah. Off you go. Go back to Bovac. Get him back. Right? Because it's not working. The coaching is not working. Pep Lijnders, as far as I'm concerned, takes training. Everything I've seen and observed, look, Klopp just watches. Pep Lijnders is in charge of coaching.
You know he's going to be the next manager, right?
Well, then we're fucked.
Listen, they're priming him. They're priming him. I'm telling you.
Yeah, exactly. Lindsay ain't going nowhere. He's our next manager, says Edward.
There you go. God. There you go. And I didn't even look at that.
It's just Klopp day one win trophies. Don't see that anymore. No, unfortunately, look, Klopp's just got to go back to being ruthless and just get rid of players, man.
The brain is a powerful tool. It sorts you out when there's issues. Yeah, that Bovac was the brain. Yeah, all of Klopp's good stuff has come from that brain of his. He's got rid of him. He's got in Pep Lijnders. Yeah, all right. He can speak all different kinds of languages. Yeah, these players that have been coming in, all right, has been through Lijnders. Not Klopp necessarily. Yes, he okays it and stuff like because he thinks he's trusting. This guy, all right, is the kind of guy that will go and bang his missus, all right, and he'll be okay with it. That's the thing with him. You know what I mean? You'll go. This is the kind of thing, and then before you know it, it's like, oh yeah, I've been with Pep all this time, and then you know what? Pep will get that job, and Klopp will be gone. Or we were saying that he's not someone, unfortunately, like he's not like Pep Guardiola, where he wants a legacy. Klopp isn't that guy, and the thing is, this is what makes me worry because Liverpool, we want our trophies. We want someone to have a legacy. We look at people like the Shankleys, the Paisleys, the Dalglishs, and all these great managers that have come in. I'm not saying Klopp wasn't a good manager. He's a good manager, but the problem with him, he's got a lot of issues with his, with the sentiments and the too nicey approach and stuff like that. Nah, man, you need to get ruthless. You need to get rid of players when they're not playing well. You need to bench players. What's wrong with Nathaniel Phillips? I don't get it. Why can you not play him? You know what I mean? Sometimes if you got injuries and stuff like that, play someone that's proven. You know what I mean? You don't need a fashionable player. And the thing is, Liverpool don't normally buy your big brand names. You buy your players and stuff like that. If they're good enough, you'll play. And they're not doing, he's not doing it. And this is where I'm thinking, you know what? It needs to be, he needs to go. He needs to go before he damages it too much. Because what we're doing, all right, is we're becoming the 8th place Liverpool. And this is a time where we need to be capitalizing because we still got that heritage where we still can attract players. But in a year or two's time, if we don't get it right with this manager in here, we're not going to attract these players again. And before you know it, we'll be a little cup team again, like we were.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, Jurgen can turn this round. Let's not get like Jurgen can turn this round because he's got the quality to do it. But he needs to just put everything to one side and calm down with his shit he's doing at the moment. Jurgen's in the wrong. There's no doubt about it. FSG are in the wrong. I've already said it. FSG need to go. So I'm not going to keep repeating myself on that. FSG need to leave this football club. They need to sell this football club. Heavy investment needs to come into this football club, yeah? So FSG have to go. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend Jurgen Klopp does nothing wrong. A lot of people do. Sky Sports yesterday, they're basically talking around Jurgen Klopp without actually looking at Jurgen Klopp. You know, Gary Neville, Jurgen Klopp's the best thing Liverpool have got. They're going to need to keep him at all things. Why?
He's trolling.
Is there no other manager in world football that can come in for Liverpool? Is that what we're saying? Are we Jurgen Klopp for life? Are we Jurgen Klopp for life now? Is that what we're saying? There's no other manager that can come in ever now. It's Jurgen Klopp or nobody. Does the club dissolve as soon as Jurgen Klopp leaves? Is that what we're saying? Do you know what I mean? It's getting ridiculous that we can't criticise the man. He's doing wrong, right? I agree with everyone. FSG hasn't invested enough in the last couple of years to some extent because they have invested, but they haven't invested enough in the certain areas of the pitch, right? In the last few years.
Jamie,
go on,
mate. Go on. No, go on, Phil.
And they're not invested yet, and that's fair enough. But when you've got these players, when you've got these players that you've got available to you, right? They're decent players, yeah? Let's not pretend these players are all shit, because that's bollocks. They're decent players. But if you play these players in a way that don't suit them, the players are going to look shit, right? Get these players into a system. Get them play into a system that suits them. If you want to play Thiago every week, get Thiago into a system that suits him best. Yeah, get Fabinho, who looks like he's not got no mobility right now and is all over the place. Yeah, right. Get him into a system that suits him best. Maybe don't have. Do you know the game that Fabinho looked best in this season? The game against Man City, right? What did we do against Man City at home? We played really deep, didn't we? We played really deep. The midfield and the defence were much closer together. We played more compact and we played on the counter-attack, yeah? Everyone in that game looked excellent. Gomez looked good because he weren't overexposed. Fabinho looked better because he weren't overexposed and left for dead in the midfield, right? Everyone looked better in their positions, yeah? Why don't we play like that more? Why don't Klopp go, right, he played like that against Man City because he didn't want to go toe-to-toe to Man City because he didn't want to get beat, yeah? So he put his ego to one side for that game and decided to play a little bit deeper, a bit more compact, and we look better for it, right? Why don't you do that more often? What's wrong with going, no, we're away to Brentford. What we need to do is just to be a little bit more compact there. Let's be a little bit more compact against Brentford. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not saying you're shit. It's actually good management. It's good management. It's going, you know what? Now sit back a little bit. Brentford are going to come out nice and fast and quick because they're at home. They're a powerful team in midfield. They've got very quick players on the counter attack, not a burn our centre backs. You know, that's just take the sting out of the atmosphere. We know what the community ground's like. The fans get up. They're very close to the pitch. They're going to get involved. You know, let's quieten this all down. Let's keep it all down. Let's make Brentford look a bit dead. And then we counter on them. Yeah, why don't we play that way? But no, what we do, we play this open, expansive football, high line, winger, fullbacks as wingers. The midfield are more advanced than the strikers. So there's that big gap, all turnover, goal. You know, it's disrespectful. And We've got to stop doing it. Klopp's got to change tactics, man.
Do you know what? I'm looking at some of these comments, and one name has been coming up a lot of times, yeah. And that's Luis Enrique. Listen, trust me, all right. If you think Jurgen Klopp is stubborn,
Luis Enrique's worse.
He's worse. You don't want him. Trust me, because if it doesn't go well, you're gonna be stuck with him. Yeah. At least with Jurgen Klopp, he supposedly got a bit of fire in him. And again, like I said, you know. He needs, the only way Liverpool can do anything, yeah. When we look at this FSG situation, yeah. Now, listen, trust me, guys, all right. I'm not an FSG in, yeah. I want to compete, and they don't spend enough for my liking. Having said that, yeah, on the flip side of it, they do spend money. But at the same time, if you've got a manager that is saying, "Oh, we don't need midfielders, or we don't need this, or we don't need that," and yeah, these guys are thinking, "Nice one, bruv. You're saving us money." You know what I mean? You know what? He needs to be telling these people, we need midfielders. We need another centre-back. We need a striker. Do you know what I mean? And the thing is, all right, these guys are business people, all right? And listen, they know how to run a business, but they might not have a clue too much about football in England, yeah? But remember, when you buy players, yeah, they are your assets. They make your club worth something, a lot more than what it is. They need to do this. He needs to be saying, yo, we need an Ivan. What's wrong with an Ivan Toney? All right, besides the issues we know that's going on at the moment, yeah. But you know what? He's a leader. He scores goals. He's a strong player. Why are we not looking at him? All right, fine. We've got forward people, yeah. But that Salcedo, yeah. Why couldn't we got him last summer? Why did we wait so late to get him? He was 50 million. Now they're not accepting anything less than 80 million. You know, McAllister, player that can play passes, good player. Enzo Fernandez. You know what? Something's not right here. There's a lot of problems at this Liverpool, and I don't think it's just Jurgen Klopp and FSG. There's a lot more into this as well. When you're looking at these people that have left, the transfer people, yeah, or leaving, or one has left, or whatever, yeah, there are problems. But in the meantime, the person that's steadying the ship, or the one that's running the show, yeah, is Jurgen Klopp, and he needs to look at this. Okay, I saw a lot of interviews with him in the beginning of the season, where he looked really sick. He looked worried. He looked stressed, like his job was, like there's problems. And that was him saying, like, we didn't need midfielders. So why even look at a Tchouaméni if you know you didn't have any issues with midfield? He's got an opportunity now. We're only 3 days into the new year. Yeah. They need to do something. And in some ways, I'm actually glad what happened yesterday has happened. And the thing is, if they can see that they need a midfielder, they'll bring in another midfielder, or bring in a midfielder this season, okay, to just steady this and then go and get your big targets in the summer. But right now, he needs someone to implement his system. They don't have anyone to implement his system.
Oh, you bang on, mate. You bang on. And so the reports coming out the moment. So let's get to the transfer stuff, because this is fucking balmy, right? So the reports are, and I agree with Jamie Carragher on this as well. Jamie Carragher said last night, Liverpool don't actually need a Jude Bellingham type. What they need is a Wijnaldum type, right? And I'm not on Sky Sports or anything like that, but I've been saying that for months, right? And no one listens to me, right? Everyone goes, no, Jamie, you're wrong and all that. And I think everyone's seen it now. That was right. Big up me. But Liverpool need Wijnaldum type midfielders for this system to work, right? We don't actually need a Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham does nothing to this team. In fact, Jude Bellingham coming in this team right now, it's like Thiago when he comes to this team. He's either going to not fit the system, or he's going to be made to fit the system, and it might not work out better for him, right? So Liverpool are apparently giving up on the buying of Jude Bellingham, yeah? Apparently, Liverpool are giving up on it. It's too much money. And Real Madrid, the news coming out of Real Madrid today is that they are very, very confident now of getting Jude Bellingham over the line in the summer, and they're even going to try and buy him this January, right? Right. So they're leaving Jude Bellingham alone, yeah? So what we get now is this. This is ridiculous. So Liverpool are now interested in Wolves midfielder Matheus Nunes, but a summer move would be more likely than a January bid, right? And this comes from a very knowledgeable reporters that, Sam Wallace and that of the Mail and all that. And I've been looking into it, and this looks like this is actually legit, right? This is actually legit, right? This is my problem with it all, guys. Liverpool could have got Matheus Nunes in the summer for cheaper.
4 million.
For cheaper than they go buy him in the summer. It's just a madness to me. I can't. I think I've missed.
You can't even get in a flipping Wolves team, for crying out loud. And we're looking at him again. Well, not even again. You just let him go.
Yeah, exactly. 2000. No, look, Diaz. We do miss Luis Diaz. He's very important to us. I agree, my friend. Thank you for the super chat. Sorry, I missed that earlier. 1 second, guys. I think I had another super chat. I want to just read it out. Cam J, big up to you. Big up, gents. Happy New Year. Well, kind of love.
Big up,
big up to you, man.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. Yeah, the reason we can't obviously get him in the summer as well, in the January as well, because he can't play for 3 teams in one season. So he'd have to wait till the summer anyway. So you're not going to be able to buy him in January anyway because of the rule. But it makes no sense. Now, I know a lot of people are saying he looks shocking for Wolves and stuff like that. Everyone's saying he looks shocking for Wolves and stuff, right? Diogo Jota didn't look exactly great for Wolves, and then look what happened when we bought him. So I'm not going to go on that. Personally, I think I said it when he went to Wolves. The Matheus Nunes transfer to Wolves made no sense. I don't think he wants to go to Wolves or play for Wolves. I think he thinks it's beneath him, and he's not interested in being there. Jorge Mendes is his agent. I think they did a thing where they went, go to Wolves, and in the summer, you'll go to Liverpool. I really think that was what always was the plan. And it looks like that's what's going to happen. I said that when he went to Wolves. Watch Liverpool get him in the summer. It looks like it's a thing where he's just gone there to show himself in the Premier League, and then we buy him in the summer. I said it back then. Go back and look at the videos, guys. But obviously, we can't buy him in January because he can't play for 3 clubs in one season because of the rules. So he'd have to play in the summer. We'd have to get him as a summer transfer. So if we get him in as a summer transfer, that means he's not going to be we're not going for Bellingham, because there's no way of paying 44 million for Matheus Nunes and going after Bellingham. I think what Liverpool are going to do, this is what I think Liverpool are going to do. I think Liverpool are going to go for 3 players that cost the 3 midfielders that cost the 1 Jude Bellingham. I think that's what they're going to do. I think that's what they're looking at now. But they're doing it wrong. They're doing it the wrong way. They need to get 1 in January and then 2 in the summer to spread over the costs. Because there is no way Liverpool going to spend 120 to 130 million on Jude Bellingham, because then they'd be able to buy no one else. And I think they're looking at it now and thinking, right, Liverpool do need 3 midfielders, yeah? Cater's leaving, Milner's leaving, Ox is leaving. That gets the wages off the books. You save money there. Liverpool want Caicedo, Matheus Nunes, and probably another, yeah, that we don't know about. That'd be your 3 midfielders, right? But one of them needs to be done in January. One needs to be done in January. It's as simple as that. And I know everyone's going, that's quality over, but even quality over quality, quality over quantity and all that stuff. Look, I've been saying it for ages, guys. Liverpool don't need world-class midfielders for this system to work. We've just got... If Jurgen Klopp is going to stay at this football club, he's playing this system. If he's not changing his system to adapt to more classier midfielders, right, to do different things and all like play like City with like 3 10s and an 8 and stuff like that, then he don't need them kind of players. You know, people might not like it, but it's true. Go and look at... Jamie Carragher said it himself last night. Liverpool don't need a Bellingham type. They need a Gini Wijnaldum type. They need them kind of midfielders. We need young, 24 to 25-year-old midfielders that are just industrious, can run, can play the ball simply and retain possession and can press. Yeah, they're the midfielders you need. You get them in the system works, we wouldn't be where we are now. It's as simple as that. Our world-class midfielder in Thiago does not look world-class because we don't play him in the situation that he should be playing in. Do you know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. And
Caicedo fits the role that you're talking about.
yeah, exactly. There's players there that you can get. Amrabat. I'd have Amrabat over Fabinho right now. I really would. Fabinho's done. Fabinho is done at the highest level. Good footballer, but we need someone to come in. We need players to come in that can run, that can press, and that can retain possession. That is all we need. We don't need these fucking world-class midfielders everyone wants. We just don't, because it doesn't suit the system. If Jurgen Klopp is going to keep playing the same system, then a Bellingham, a Enzo Fernandez, and a Thiago in the midfield is as bad as having what we have right now, because it won't work, because it don't suit the system.
He needs to look at this system. He really needs to look at it now. I mean, like I said, he's played like different. This guy always plays 4-3-3. Obviously, this season, with players being injured and things not going too well, or certain players being exposed and whatnot, he has changed certain little bits and pieces, and he just needs to do this. He needs to realize that we are in a situation right now, and due to his negligence, may I add, he needs to do something. He needs to change this system. He needs to. I mean, like, this Brexit midfield thing has served him, but he doesn't have the players right now. So we need to be looking at playing your Thiagos further forward. If you're gonna give people like Bajcetic a chance, you need to start getting him to play. Like, obviously not in big games and stuff like that, but you know what? Start letting him play now. Even like, he rates Tyler Morton. Tyler Morton. Is that his name? Or Morton? Yeah. Morton, yeah. He needs to call him back from Blackburn then. He needs to do something, because right now what we've got is not good enough, yeah? They need to get these guys back, especially if we're not spending money, because right now it's top four. And there's a chat here, one of the messages, yeah? Tyler Adams. What's wrong with him? You see what he did to England?
The American guy.
The American guy that pocketed Jude Bellingham.
No money as well. He won't cost a lot. Is it Musa, the American, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, these are good players that would suit us really well.
They ain't going to cost Jude Bellingham money.
Weston McKennie would suit us. These sort of players would suit our system. Right, this is what I get weird. This is what I find really strange about Liverpool Football Club right now, and the transfer dealings. Yeah, so we all know FSG ain't got a lot of money. Klopp made a light of that the other day, but I don't know why he has to make a light of that. We all know that, right? Liverpool haven't got a lot of money, right? Everyone knows it. And hang on, Edward, what do you completely disagree on, my friend? Let me know in the chat. What you completely disagree on.
You know what? Before you land your thing, yeah? Go on. Do you really think they don't have money? Really? They do have money, mate.
They have money. Yeah, they have money. I mean, it shows we have money because we bought 3 new forwards in 12 months. So we have money. It's there to be spent. There's no doubt about it. We have money. But they're spending it in the wrong areas of the pitch.
Right, absolutely.
This is the issue, right?
And it's Klopp's problem.
One midfielder in 4 years. I've said this before, right? We had a defensive problem. They went and got Konate, right? I'm fine with that. Great bit of business. 36 million for Konate, who will turn out good. Yeah, he had a bad game yesterday, but he was put in a position that didn't suit him. He was on the wrong side, on Virgil's side. Didn't suit his positioning. Came into a game that was all over the shop. Didn't suit him. He was dog shit, yeah? Right? But he will be good. We all know Konate is a good defender, right? He's allowed a bad game. He's a young kid, right? That's a 36 million, good bit of business. We got him in. We needed a left back cover. We've got Tsimikas. I'm happy at Tsimikas left back cover. But can we just stop now with? Can everyone now stop with this Tsimikas must play over Robbo nonsense? Tsimikas is nowhere near as good as Robbo. He's nowhere near good defensively, and he's nowhere near as good as going forward. But he's a very good number 2 to Robbo if he needs to play. Got no problem with it. But he don't start over Robbo. Yeah, good cover. We've got cover for Trent at right back now, but Ramsey don't play because he's. I don't know why. Right? You got Virgil, Matip, Konate, and Gomez, and Nathaniel Phillips there. That's a decent enough 5 centre backs, but we put them in positions on the pitch at the moment that make them look average. Yeah, we're making Virgil has lost a bit of pace, play a high line. We're making Konate play a high line when he's a young lad still learning the game. Makes no sense. His positional awareness isn't as good as Matip's at the moment, but you can't play Matip in a high line because he hasn't got the pace of Konate. So you're overexposing players in positions that shouldn't be playing in these positions. You're making them look bad. Make them drop a little bit deeper, and Virgil and Konate look absolutely fine. Yeah? You're making them work too hard all the time. Virgil and Konate play a high line, and they've got to turn around and face their own goal, run back continuously. So you're overworking them. Do you know what I mean? It makes no sense. And
burning them up.
Exactly. So you're making them look terrible. We have got to get players. All Klopp. I don't think it's just till the end of this season. I think Klopp's just got to look at it and go, right, these are the players I've got available, right? I've got to play these players. This is what I've got. And these are the tactics I'm playing. He's got to put it on the board, on a whiteboard. My tactics, my players. And he's got to try and match it up and go, right, if we're playing a high line, it's not working because the midfield, I've got to play the right midfield. So that means Naby Keita's got to come in. If he wants to play high line, he's got to play the likes of Naby Keita. He's got to play the likes of Hendo. He's got to play players that press off the ball. People might not like it. It might not be fashionable, right? But it works. So in the transfer policy for Liverpool, so Liverpool's transfer policy has to be, you've got to buy players that fit my system. Now, I've been moaning for a long, long time now that Man United buy excellent footballers, but they don't work because of the systems Man United play. Yeah, Paul Pogba, one of them. Paul Pogba is an excellent footballer. Let's not pretend. We can all take the piss and all that, but let's not pretend Paul Pogba is not an excellent footballer, yeah? You put him in the wrong situation, the wrong system, he's going to look crap, yeah? You play players in wrong systems and that, they're going to look terrible. Rashford is now playing really well because Eric Ten Hag has got a settled system now at Man United where he's getting the best out of certain players, yeah? And they're starting to look good again. That is exactly what we got to do. We got to play players in their correct positions firstly. I don't want this Harvey Elliott midfield stuff anymore. I'm done with it. I was all about Harvey Elliott at the beginning of the season. I actually thought he was one of our best midfielders at the beginning of the season. But now Harvey Elliott's getting overexposed. He's getting overexposed. And he's only 19 years old. It's not
don't get it twisted. At the end of the day, yeah, you're right. Absolutely, yeah. Listen, sometimes in games you might need to do your quick tactics change and stuff like that, yeah. But when you're trying to like groom him into a CM, yeah, he's not about that life. Don't play him there. Play him on his position where he strives. Look at Carvalho the other day when he came on, when he played in a 10 at some points in that game. He scored a goal against Man City, of all teams, yeah. This is the way you play these guys. When you play these guys, this is where you get your opportunity. You know what I mean?
I mean, we got 10s and don't play them. We got bigger ends. We got 10s and we don't play 10s. It's mad. It's mad. It's like who bought Carvalho? Literally, who wanted Carvalho? Because I've been saying it for a while. I don't think Carvalho was a Klopp signing. I don't see Carvalho as a Klopp signing because he doesn't play the position that Carvalho likes to play in. Carvalho is a number 10. we don't play with a number 10.
You know why?
Why have we bought Carvalho?
You know why? Blatantly, right? This is what Klopp likes to do. He likes to get players and think, I know what I can do with you. Play him on a left wing. That's what he's done. He's bought Carvalho not to play him in a position that he thrives off, that he's been good at. Yeah, he's saying, yeah, you know what, you can do this job, that job. Yeah, he ain't getting into that midfield. He ain't gonna play as a number 10. You know what? You can be the back. You know, the backup to Luis Diaz, and that's what he's been playing most of the season. Or when he's been playing on the left wing. That's what they've done. They've just said, you know what, he's going to be a left winger. And that's what they've done. There's no sense to some of these things.
Adam says Carvalho must have eaten Klopp's dinner in the fridge or something.
Probably.
But no, Klopp's just got to change things around. I think Thiago would look better if we play 4-2-3-1. You know, in that double pivot, which suits him. And having a midfielder in front of him, you know, he's got protection then. And then you get him on the ball more and he can cause more havoc and look like the world-class player that he is, yeah? This 4-3-3, the way we play 4-3-3 is quite different to a lot of people play 4-3-3 because we play a flat 3. You know, there's no one advanced. It's a flat 3. All 3 midfielders are 6s and 8s at the same time, right? And they're all about pressing, getting hold of the ball, all that sort of stuff, right? But Elliott's not a right-sided midfield. If we played 4-4-2, I wouldn't mind Elliott on the right-hand side of a 4-4-2, right? That'd be fine. That's sort of his position, right? Why don't we go back to playing 4-4-2? Get players, just play positionally. You know, we this 4-3-3, it doesn't work because the 3 midfielders in Klopp's 4-3-3 need to run so much about running. They have to run box to box. They have to press. They have to counter press, right? But you're playing players in that 3 that can't do it. Poor Harvey. I feel for Harvey Elliott. I really feel for him because I think Klopp's putting him out there at the moment. And I don't think he should be. And it's highlighting a problem. Like Klopp is highlighting a problem. But then Klopp ain't fixing the problem because he keeps playing the problem. That makes no sense.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what? I mean, you know, before this stream, I was doing a stream on Ensman's stream on a potential formation. I think guys need to go and check this out as well. But what we suggested in that stream was, I think it was 3 at the back, 3 centre backs with obviously Trent and Robbo as wing backs, and have your 2 CMs. I think we put Fabinho in there, and we put Thiago with Nunes, Salah, and Gakpo, like, you know, floating in between the 2 positions and that. Yeah, that looks like a stronger team, and Klopp needs to look at that. That is a team that's going to give, you know, it's not going to expose the defense because you got 3 strong centre backs. You got Trent and Robbo who can go up and back and forth. You know what I mean? That can make it, you know, into a 5 at the back. Should it be the midfield, you know, of Thiago and Fabinho, and then you can have that number 10 in there if you don't play a striker, you know, to just drop in to give the support in the midfield, and then you have your 2. You know, your Salah and your Gakpo in the meantime, before the other players come in, you know, like the players that are injured. That would be a good formation for Liverpool going forward until they get players in.
I agree. But the thing, Klopp did try and change it as well. And then he just reverted back to this. This is my worry. My worry with Klopp is, I think if Klopp tweaks it and gets it right, happy days. He's away again, yeah? Also, if Klopp gets the players that he wants in his midfield, happy days, we're going again. This is why 100% of the blame ain't on FSG, 100% of the blame ain't on Klopp. It has to be split. You know what I mean? Klopp and his coaching team are not doing their job at the moment, right? And FSG are not doing their job at the moment. So I can't sit here as a person and go, it's all FSG's fault. Everything's their fault. and Klopp and his coaching team are doing nothing wrong. Because that is lunacy. That is complete lunacy, and it's bollocks. And you know it's bollocks if you're talking like that. Yeah? Klopp and his coaching team are not doing nearly enough this season. They're going back to the well time and time again, but the well is dry, continuously dry, but they're hoping there's water in it tomorrow morning. You know what I mean? And there's not, but they keep going back and back and back anyway, right? When they've got a fucking river right behind them. Do you know what I mean? That is what Liverpool are doing right now. That is what Liverpool are doing right now. Keep playing 4-3-3 with midfielders that can't press in a setup and a tactical formation that Klopp wants to play that don't work for the players that you have in your 11. I can't keep repeating myself enough. It don't make sense. Now, I know everyone wants Darwin Nunes as a striker. He probably will be eventually, yeah? But right now, he looks the best when he plays on the left. I'm talking about the right here and right now. We need points. We need points. If Darwin's playing better on the left at the moment, play him on the left. You know what I mean? If he's playing better there, play him there, right? If Thiago is not playing well in a 4-3-3, bring him out of the team. Bring him out of the team. Go with a really dead midfield that people will be on Twitter, be like, oh my God, we're playing like this is Brexit Volume 2 midfield, yeah? I bet you any money, though, if we play a Brexit Volume 2 midfield, yeah, that looks like it's just industrious, it's just nothing, there's no real quality there. I bet we win them games of football, though. I bet we win them games of football. And what's going on in training? Why do we have so many training injuries all the time? Why do we have so many training injuries all the time? Why do our players look like zombies before they've even got onto the football pitch sometimes?
Because they're knackered, Jamie. They're knackered and they're doing double training on top of that, and they're picking up injuries. It's as simple as that. It's like me. It's like you, Jamie, like all night with your kids and stuff like that, and you've not had a wink sleep, and then you've got to go and do an 8-hour shift. You're gonna feel it, man. You've got to feel it mentally and physically. That's what these guys are doing.
And I've said it for a while. The brain don't work properly if the body's tired either, right? And this is another thing. The brain don't work properly if the body's tired. And I look at someone like Fabinho, right? Fabinho works with his brain more than he does with his physicality because he's a player that can read the game well. Yeah, he knows he hasn't got great movement and pace, but he reads the game really well and he puts himself in the right situation at the right time to win balls back or make fouls and stuff like that. He can't do that at the moment because his body is so tired. The brain isn't working properly. So what you're just getting a cardboard cutout of Fabinho on the pitch. Yeah, that's what you're getting. And it makes, these players the training needs to be lighter, man. The training obviously needs to be lighter and there needs to be more coaching in training. But like you said about formations as well, we've got to change something up. I'd love Klopp to go free at the back. I've been saying this for a while as well. Go free at the back. Look at the players we've got. You can play Matip, Konate and Virgil at the back as a free at the back. Trent and Robbo as wing backs. I mean, they play like that in a 4-4-2. So I know everyone keeps going, Trent and Robbo won't work as wing backs. They play wing backs in a 4-4-2. So play them as a free at the back. Play Matip, Konate and Virgil. Play Robbo at left wing back. Trent at right wing back, right? And then when you need to defend, you got 5 at the back. You got 5 at the back. Go on.
Sorry, Jamie. Jamie Trance. Your message, Baz, take the sunglasses off. You fool. It don't make you look bad, bro. It's not me looking bad. I've just been in hospital. My eyes are blood. I have blood all over my eyes. Yeah. So I'm not doing this for an image, mate.
There you go, man. There you go. Yeah, Baz has been in hospital over New Year and everything, guys. Yeah. He's not well at the moment. So give him a little bit of a leave him be, guys. Leave him be. Big up, Gen LFC becoming a member. I appreciate it, my friend.
Big up, man. Welcome to the party.
Yeah, Baz is here, guys, but he's been in hospital New Year. He's been all in hospital. His eyes are sore, guys. So leave him be. Yeah. Go on. What was I saying?
Sorry, man.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. And then the midfield, the midfield. Then you can play players in positions. You can play 3-4-3. You can play 3-5-2. You could be a bit more defensively sound and still not lose anything in your attacking game at the same time. This is what I don't get about Jurgen sometimes. He goes with the same lineup constantly, with the same formation, same tactic. And as I say, it's not working. In some games it'll work and we'll look good. We'll score goals. Some games Thiago look amazing and he is pressing. But the next game he's not and he's useless and we're crap again. There's too many games this season where we look good. Oh, we're back. The next game we look crap again. There's a problem there. There is a massive problem. At Rude Boy LFC, big up to you. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. Football quickly approaches you from a possible quad to this. We're getting older, kind of like seeing Muhammad Ali being destroyed in his later fights. It's just awful to watch. Great point. I mean, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest, didn't know when to quit. Didn't know when to quit and carried on and then looked the shadow of his former self. And that is Liverpool right now. They look the shadow of their former selves, which means you need to change things up. You can't keep getting punched in the face every week and expect to come back the following week and win a game of football, do you, Baz?
Absolutely. Something's got to give, man. I think he doesn't need to look at this. You know what I mean? We are, we had that season where we just got top 4, all right, but we weren't this bad. You know what I mean? So this season we are bad. So we need to do the right things now. We just need to look at and see what is right for this team and get them there. Because just move, coming out, the Champions League spot for just one season has serious financial impact for a team that already with their owners that don't like to dig in their pockets. It's a big thing, man.
Exactly. Big up Oscar. Kara's talked about the high line for ages. How has Klopp not done anything to resolve this problem? Stubbornness, my friend. Stubbornness. Ego and stubbornness, like a lot of these managers. Conte's the same. I'm here slagging Conte off at Spurs. Exactly the same. Ego is getting in the way of what he can do at Tottenham, he's got players there who can get the better out of them by playing a different kind of way, but he won't because he's got his way of playing. And unfortunately, some of these managers it's my way or it's no way. It's as simple as that. But I just want Jurgen to change. I don't look. Yesterday I was saying Jurgen out because I've had enough. I was so angry and upset. I'm angry and upset still. I don't actually want Jurgen out. I want Jurgen to improve. Otherwise, he will need to go. If Jurgen don't improve, right, and his coaching don't improve, then you've got to have a serious discussion about keeping him. I don't understand why you don't. I don't understand what people get upset about that with, right? If he doesn't improve and he carries on doing the same thing week in, week out, then why shouldn't you have that discussion? I mean, FSG are never going to sack Jurgen Klopp. They're never going to sack Jurgen Klopp in a million years. You know what I mean? That's never going to happen because if they did that, all hell would come on FSG. All hell would come on them. But Jurgen has to improve. It's as simple as that. His coaching staff have to improve. Pep Lijnders needs to be sacked. Klopp needs to bring Pep Lijnders into his office today and go, look, Pep, it's over, mate. They're all coming for me, but I'm not leaving, so goodbye. You know what I mean? He has to be ruthless, man.
No, absolutely.
He has to be ruthless. We need new coaching staff. Pep Lijnders is too much of a yes man. He doesn't challenge Klopp in anything. So Alex Ferguson used to say it a lot. He wanted his assistant managers to challenge him on things. Yeah, he would challenge them. And then Alex Ferguson would always say, eventually I'd get him to come round to my way. But I like the challenge, It made him think, right? Pep Lijnders don't challenge him with anything. I'm telling you right now, right? Jurgen Klopp. No, I'm telling you right now. Pep Lijnders picks Jurgen Klopp up for work. Right, right. I bet Pep Lijnders, right, drives up outside Jurgen Klopp's house, 8 o'clock every morning. Bibs on the horn. Yeah. Klopp comes out, gets in the car, little handshake and a hug. Right, how you doing, boss? All this sort of stuff. And Jurgen's like, I forgot my lunch. And Pep is like, Jurgen, don't worry. I have made your lunch for you. I have brought lunch for you, boss. I've brought lunch for you. Oh, you're such a great man. You're such a great man, Pep. What would I do without you, Pep? What would I do without you, Pep?
I told you.
I told you. It's just, man.
That's exactly what's going on. And he's licking out his missus as well at the same time, bruvs, to become that manager. I'm telling you.
It's just like Pep's playing one, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, mate. He wants that job. He blatantly wants that job. He's busting out his books. He's getting in players, and at the same time, he's giving Jurgen Klopp this rope to hang himself. And trust me, he's going to be the next manager.
Yeah, exactly. Bovac left because he challenged Klopp. Exactly. Klopp don't like being challenged, and if that's a problem, then surely we need to talk about it. John Bradley, Bads is in them glasses because he just come out of hospital, my man. He's been in hospital over New Year. He didn't even see the game yesterday because he was in the hospital, and he's got bloodshot eyes really bad. So that's why he's wearing glasses.
Wow.
So just be nice in the chat, man. But yeah. I think Monts has got the link. Monts, if you're watching, man, the link is in your Twitter, my man.
Yeah, I've sent it to him as well on his Instagram.
Yeah, the link's in the Twitter, man. If you want to jump in and that, no worries. We need to look at Napoli's midfielders. They have been incredible this season. You know what Napoli are doing, though? Napoli recruited really well, but they recruited players to play their system. Yeah, they recruited players to play their system. If they played a different system, these players won't look as good. Do you know that's what it is. You got. When did we stop buying? When did we stop buying players that suited their system? Ram, we'll get you on next time, man. Whenever you're available, my friend, you always know you're available. You're welcome. When did we stop buying players that suited our system? Jurgen was so good at that. Cav, you've got the link in your Twitter as well. If you want to jump on, mate, I'd like to hear your points on all this as well. We need, there you go, it's a great one. Big up to my man now. We need legs, physicality, and box to box. Exactly.
So many. Many. When you look at Everton, they bought that. Is it Onana? I like him as a player.
Yeah. Do you know we conceded more goals than Everton this season? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I saw that that stat yesterday. That's shocking, man.
It's just what is wrong with this football club, man? This football club is shocking at the moment, and it's a mad one. Tired of accepting second-rate players. Klopp wants to keep as pets. FSG and Klopp are not working. It's becoming a club. I'm not. Big up, Pat Bam. I'm sat in Teams meetings with everything on mute, just nodding along and watching. Big up, Pat, man. I love that, man. Yeah, there you go. No, I wish we had this guy. Yeah, there's players around Europe that Liverpool could have got. As I keep saying, Liverpool have neglected this midfield position for a long time. What I was getting at earlier is like, when we needed a defender, we went and got Konate. When we needed a forward, we went and bought 3 of them. You know, so they saw situations that we needed. We needed forward players, they went and got them. We needed a centre back, they went and got Konate. We've been after a left back that can deputise Robbo for a while. They went and got Simicast. So they got players for positions they know they needed, yeah. But the midfield hasn't been bought for 4 years. Why is that? That's what we got to look at. Why has the midfield been neglected for 4 years, but every other position on the pitch hasn't been when we needed players? Is Jurgen Klopp and FSG looking at our midfield going, We don't need anyone in there right now. So why waste our money? The money we have for transfer budget is this much, right? Why waste that in a midfield that we probably don't need spending on right now? Is that what they're looking at? Is Klopp just happy with what he's got? Is Klopp like thinking, right, I've got a project in Harvey Elliott? I said this yesterday. Is Klopp thinking he's got a project in Harvey Elliott where he sees something in Harvey Elliott? I mean, like, I've said this for a while now. People go, oh, Harvey Elliott only plays because there's no one else. And I said, that's bullshit. Harvey Elliott plays because Klopp really likes him.
Yeah.
Klopp really rates Harvey.
One of his favourites.
Yeah, Klopp rates him, man. So if Klopp rates Harvey Elliott, this is the way I see it, right? If Klopp really rates Harvey Elliott, Klopp would be like, right. And you heard him in his press conference the other day, guys, by the way. He said, my philosophy, right, is to have certain players in the team that I can coach and train and get better. Why waste money in a position I might not need to spend on because I've got a player here who can do something for me that won't, and then I won't have to spend 50 million in that position. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what he sees. He sees that in Harvey, right? He sees that in Harvey. We don't. We see him more as a forward player or a wide player, right? But Klopp sees him as a central midfielder. Klopp plays him a lot, right? He puts him out there a lot. As I keep saying, a lot of people think Harvey's the problem, but the problem keeps playing, right? For a reason. Klopp sees a lot in him. So Klopp's thinking to himself, right? Remember the my philosophy bit in that press conference. He's thinking to himself, why do I need to spend the money on a midfielder when I've got Harvey Elliott here, who I know if I get on the training pitch week in, week out and coach, I can make him a player for us. Then I don't have to go and spend 50 million in that area of the pitch. I think he thinks that about a lot of players. I really do. I think he thinks that about a lot of players. Ox has stayed at Liverpool for longer than he should. Right? And then he plays when he's fit. Cater probably stayed at Liverpool for longer than his foot. But Klopp's got on record and says he really rates Naby Keita as a footballer. Right? He really rates Naby Keita as a footballer. And that's why he's kept him along. Klopp wanted Naby to sign a new contract, but Naby's just not interested. But Klopp wanted Naby to sign a new contract. My YouTube channel started, right? The reason my YouTube channel started is because, I'll tell you a little story now, people don't know. The reason I started this YouTube channel, because I used to go and coppish quite a lot on the Friday night call-ins and call in on there and have my say, right? But I had a lot to say, and you only get a couple of minutes to have your say and stuff like that. And I came regular on it and things like that, and people started to know me, right? So I was like, I've got more to say. So I'm going to start my own channel up. Why not? I started my own channel up. And my first video was the Jordan Henderson video about signing a brand new contract, yeah? So do you remember a couple of seasons ago when Henderson was coming to the end of his contract? And people were saying, like, no, Henderson has to stay. I remember this, by the way. The fan base were like, what are FSG doing? Hendo has to stay. I remember this clear as day. Everyone was going, especially when I was watching Coppish and other Liverpool channels, because I weren't doing my own show at the time. So I was watching everyone else. And everyone was going, FSG are mad. They have got to give Hendo a new deal, right? My first video, go back and watch it. It's fucking terrible. But go back and watch it, right? This is my first video. I was like on the side of FSG because I was like, I understand why FSG might be a bit reluctant to give Hendo a new contract, because his injuries at the time were getting more regular. He's coming up to 30 years of age. He's going to have no sell-on value. What's the benefits of keeping a Jordan Henderson at your football club, yeah? You're going to give him a big contract with more wages. That takes away from players you can possibly get in to take over, right? But Jurgen Klopp wanted Hendo to have that contract. James Milner. Who's the one who wanted Milner to sign a big contract? Jurgen Klopp wanted James Milner to sign that new contract. Do you know what I mean? It's just, he has his favourites and he has the players he rates and relies on. Yeah. So if you've got these players in your teams on new contracts and you're not willing to sell them, how the hell are you meant to buy new midfielders?
The thing is, all right. I mean, just with the Hendo thing, all right. Yeah, look, we know he wasn't a super class, you know, big up, man, big up once. He wasn't a super world class midfielder, but what he brings is leadership. You know, there's a lot of qualities in players. You know, some players they're good on the ball, some players are good, you know, in other ways. But with Milner, you know, he's a captain, he's a leader. Yeah, he might run around like a headless chicken when he first started and whatnot. Yeah, but you know, sometimes you got to look at the inside. Do you know what I mean? Like your James Milner's, he's going to give you a 7 out of 10 performances, but you know what? We've overused him. Yeah, he might not need to be playing at the club as much. Yeah, but what he brings for the youngsters, all right, and you know, just the leadership. You can bring him on a 20 minutes in a game or something just to shore things up, put in a tackle or something like that. Henderson can do something like that. He's not a 90-minute player anymore for me. But you know what? The leadership that he brings in, I think they missed it last night. You know what I mean? They missed the leaders, like the Brexit leaders, if you want to call them that. You know what I mean? And yeah, you know, I think sometimes people's criticism on him are a little bit harsh. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's taking a big contract now anyway. I think as players, when they sign these 1 year, 2 year extensions, they know they will be dropping. They've made their money. So
I agree, but do you know my problem with that is all like if you're signing Hendos and Milners up to new contracts, right, and then you're not willing to sell any other midfielders, how the hell are you meant to buy new ones?
Yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. The problem is with Liverpool over the years, it's, historically, you know, when we sold players, we've never really made huge profits. Maybe you can, obviously, your Coutinho's and your Suarez's and that, but generally, you know, all right, recent times we've sold some youngsters for like quite good, but previously to that, you know, we've always made loss on players.
Yeah, agree. Big up Monte doing, my man.
Yeah.
You feel like we all do.
Mm.
So I caught your video yesterday a bit, Monts, but I couldn't stay long because the wife was having a go at me in the background. But yeah, good show last night, man. Good show last night. I know you got a bit off your chest, but what else you got to say here, man?
I also got punched up by the man them yesterday as well. So that.
Oh man, you got to take it on the chin. You got to take it on the chin, ain't you?
Yeah, there's always the extras. That's. Do you know what it is? It's like a process for me usually. Anyways, like when Liverpool lose, yeah, like the phone buzzes 1,000 times. You get the usuals, and then I realize we're actually terrible. And then once the rage has sort of simmered down, the rage inside me, once I've taken a walk, you know, and the rage has simmered down, then I realize, wait a minute, it's not done. I'm going to get laughed at for about an hour and a half on my own channel. So then there's that. And then I'm going to go to sleep and stare at my roof as if like, I don't know, like if I had a message, as if I've been broken up with. And I'm going to wake up even more angry again. And then I accept the fact that we are shit. So this is why now it's kind of sunk in a bit. Like, you know, there's still some rage inside me right now. And there's many reasons as to that. You guys have alluded to many of these reasons already. I generally think that everyone wants to laugh at Jordan, Brian Henderson, but I guarantee you if he is on the pitch today, we don't fold after one dodgy own goal. Personally, that's what I say. I'm not saying he's KDB. I'm not saying he's Odegaard. I'm not saying he's Thiago. Do you know what I'm saying? But there's still a lack of stability. And I've always thought this for a long time. I just kind of kept it in-house. Virgil van Dijk has never been captain material for Liverpool. He's just the best player in the defense. He's obviously, on merit, the best defender in the world. And that's why he has that armband. Robertson done more as a captain than Virgil van Dijk has done every time he's worn that armband.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason people are okay with Van Dijk being the captain is because he has waves and silky hair at the same time, bro. Like, Donny looks good. Brother looks good. He is not captain material, and that's okay. But that's okay. That doesn't mean he's bad. It doesn't mean, like, you can't have everything. Henderson doesn't have a lot anymore, but he still is a captain. Robertson is a captain. Arguably, Alisson is a captain. There are other players who can take on the armband, and VVD is not one of them. So I generally think we missed the leader on the pitch today. we really did miss the leader on the pitch, or yesterday, anyways.
Yeah.
And I'm tired of seeing the same thing over and over again. When you obviously with the stat we're all going with is that we've conceded 51 big chances. That to me is criminal. We've conceded more goals than Everton. Like, what is that? Like more than Lamps? Seriously, more than Frank Lampard, bro. Like, and then on top of that, the stakes are too high for the players at hand. So, for example, Mo Salah is a world-class footballer, top 10 in the world, top 2-3 in the world on his day when he's playing really well. Yeah, but if the system isn't catered to him, or he's having to be moved away, or if anything is changed about his game dramatically, or if there's any sudden changes, it is immediately seen. Do you know what I'm saying with Mo Salah? And there's nothing wrong with that as a player. I don't think that makes him any worse of a player. Do you know what I'm saying? Because systems is how football's a game of chess these days. So I don't think there's a problem with that as a player for him. But what that comes down to is getting the best out of your best players. And when the stakes are high, we know already it's never just fallen to Mo Salah to dig us out. Should he be a lot better? I think 100% Mo Salah should be playing a lot better. Is he still in the game at times? Yeah. But in games like yesterday, should he have maybe taken the game by the scruff of the neck and kept coming central? Because that was the only time we looked like we was going to score a goal? 100%. I think we have a problem with personnel dealing with high stakes. And when things aren't going well, I've always said this about Jurgen as well. When things aren't going well, when things are going well, Klopp's top 2 in the world. You could even argue say he's the best in the world. But when things aren't going well and it's time to fix it, find a way to fix it, Klopp is not even in the top 10 in the Premier League. Understand that. In 2020, when shit was going wrong, we fell to 9th and we lost 6 home games on the bounce because we do not know how to deal with problems. Klopp does not know how to deal with problems efficiently. He waits until the problem goes away rather than deals with the problems. When everyone came back from injury, when Thiago and Fab came back from injury, we won 8 out of 10 games and we got back to the top 4. Why? We didn't change anything. Nothing changed. Players just came back from injury. We waited for the problem to pass rather than dealing with it there and then. And do you know who else doesn't deal with problems? FSG. They wait for the problem to pass, and if they have to, they act last minute. We spent a combined 1.5 million that summer on Ozan Kabak and what's his name? Clone.
Davis. Calvin. Ben Davis. Davis. Yeah.
Ben Davis. Yeah. Ben Davis and Ozan Kabak, a combined 1.5, a combined staggering 1.5 million. Yeah. Where we entered the window top of the league. Despite having Joe Gomez and Jordan Henderson or Fabinho and Henderson playing centre back. So that's how good we still were. That is how good we still were, by the way. Yeah. And what we done was, as a club, as a manager, as an assistant manager, as a board, we waited for the problem to pass and acted last minute rather than being proactive. And we all know this is a problem with Liverpool. But again, it filters down. Now, we were so good that we could get away with it with the personnel if people just came back from injuries. When I say get away with it, I mean, again, we just about scraped top 4 that season. We managed to get 2 trophies last season, with better fitness and stuff. Now it's filtering down to the players. It's an even bigger issue. With the hierarchy and the manager and the assistant manager, to not be proactive when your team is world class, you can get away with it. Again, it papers over the cracks a little bit because no team is perfect. Nothing is perfect. But now that it's filtered down to the personnel in the team, and the cracks are showing that we need refreshments, now everything comes tumbling down. The pillars that were holding everything up comes tumbling down. And I'm not just waffling here. Well, I hope it sounds like I'm not waffling here. But players like Darwin Nunes is not a player to bring in under pressure. You don't bring a player like that in under pressure because now people like me, well, I'm not excusing myself, people like me who didn't think he was the right signing to begin with, it's not going to be. There's so many. It's not just me. There's so many fans like me that aren't exactly massive like fans of Darwin Nunes as a player. Do you know what I'm saying? But how dare you bring someone like that in and put them under that amount of pressure? And now he's missing sitter after sitter after sitter after sitter. He's missed about 10 clear-cut chances in the last 5 games. And what should have happened was, if Sadio Mane is still here, or if Divock Origi is still here, or if there's at least someone that is still there where he doesn't have to go straight into the starting 11, he can miss all those chances and we can go, you know what? Yeah, but with time will come. You know what? Yeah, it's all right. If time will come. But now, every big chance he misses, you go, fucking hell, we can see the goal now. It's down on him, you know. Fucking hell. If the team was better, And I knew, and every game I'm saying, I'm like, yo, he's missing 2-3 one-on-ones, but a better team's going to punish us. What happened yesterday? What's going to happen against Brighton? What's going to happen against Chelsea? What's going to happen after that? So now, Darwin Nunes is not built right now to deal with the pressure because the stakes are too high. You can't bring in a man, the stakes can't be this high and now he's missing this amount of chances, especially when your only other guy is a Salah who's not exactly firing himself, is he? You know what I'm saying?
And his head will drop. His head will drop at some point because right now he's just he's braving it.
You can't buy a goal right now, and this is past the point of me saying I don't fancy him as a player. It's past that. Forget that, right? Forget my opinion of that right now. I'm talking I'm talking objectively. The man is missing. And he knows how high the stakes are. Do you think these misses would be affecting Darwin Nunes if Sadio Mane was playing every other game and still scoring goals, or Salah and Mane are still combining to score goals, or Jota's there scoring goals?
This is what I've been saying, man.
I've been saying it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been saying it with Mane, right? What Liverpool should have done. I said this when we bought Darwin. I've been saying it last week or so. What Liverpool should have done is kept one of the forwards and got Darwin in. So. Because what Liverpool have done, they sold Mane and bought Darwin on the same day, right? They let Origi go, Taki Minamino go, right? And basically told Liverpool Football Club that everything's on Darwin now, right? So if everything's on Darwin, like you're saying, Monts, and he's missing chances, it's not fair on him as a player either.
That's what
if
I said.
You have,
that's what
if
I mean.
you have, yeah, exactly. If you have a Mane there, right? You kept Mane, you somehow kept Mane for another year, yeah. Right, and you got Darwin in, right? It wouldn't look so bad. Also with Darwin, and I've been saying this for a while now, Mo Salah misses as many chances as Darwin does, right? But the problem is Mo has got a back catalogue of getting 20 goals every single season for years and years and years and years and years, right? Darwin ain't got a back catalogue at the moment. So if Darwin's missing chances but still getting 20 a season, we would look back at it and go, right, he's still missing chances, but I know at the end of the season Darwin's going to get 20 like Mo does every year. And no one will be actually like losing their shit like they are now. But the problem is, why Liverpool told everybody is that Darwin's coming in to be our goal scorer. And I've been saying it for ages now. People still don't agree with me on my own channel, but Darwin for me is best when he plays left wing.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
he's devastating at left. He's devastating.
Yeah.
He's devastating on the left wing area. His athleticism. The way I look at Darwin Nunes, I look at the attributes Liverpool probably looked at: his pace, his movement, and his athleticism. You look at them attributes alone, he's a devastating footballer, right? Use them 3 things to his advantage. Play him left wing. Play him off the left hand side, and we will look better for it.
Jamie, I've always said, I said this. I agree with you as well. For me, I think was blaming Klopp personally simply because I look at Darwin Nunes and I go, as a striker, it's not it right now. If he's playing in the front 2, bang him there, play him there. If he's playing in the front 2 with Salah, Firmino behind, we did that for a little bit. It worked for a little bit. In the Champions League, it worked to treat as well. Play him there. But if you want to do the same old 4-3-3, put him on the left. You have that. We've seen the best of Darwin Nunes. What are his best 3 performances this season? Tottenham Hotspur. Yeah. Tottenham Hotspur. Man City. He played very well against Man City. There was another one. West Ham. He was very good against West Ham.
But Monts, who was playing in number 9 position.
Firmino.
Yeah. And who's still key to this system working, playing in the number 9 position
Oh,
in
Firmino, of course.
2023? Exactly. Isn't this an issue?
And to be fair, Jota's learning to do well. But I'm saying,
Yeah.
but just going back to what I was saying. For me, you're looking at Darwin has never really like the thing is, yeah, cool. If you're gonna play Darwin up top, again, the stakes are too high for him. He has to score goals. I don't give a fuck if he's making hella runs. I don't give a fuck if he's in the right place at the right time. He has to. Do you know why he has to put the ball in the back of the net? Because Salah becomes a touchline winger. So if Salah's going to be a touchline winger, you now bear that responsibility of scoring the goals. So when you miss, it's worse than Salah's misses. It's worse. Do you know what I'm saying? And also, to make the stakes even higher, going back, we're not good. We are conceding the most chances in the Premier League. So you have to take the pressure off by scoring goals. And I haven't even got to the defense yet. So I don't think I'm missing out on these, man. I don't think I forgot about them bozos as well. I'm just talking solely about, since we want to keep buying attackers, this is why I want to talk about the attack. Since we want to keep buying attackers. Yeah? We are playing Oxlade-Chamberlain left wing. Yeah? Side note, very well played yesterday, Oxlade-Chamberlain. One player that don't deserve to walk home from that shouldn't be walking home and deserves to go on the coach. But if Chamberlain is fit and can give you 70 minutes a game, why is he not playing centre midfield? And why is Darwin Nunes not playing on the left? Why are we not just playing 4-4-2 then? Why are we not? This is what I don't get. Why would you shoot? This is why I said I'm on Klopp. I'm on him, bro. I love him to bits. And sometimes friends fight. Sometimes you got to slug it out with your boy and then hug afterwards, bro. Because right now, how are you playing Oxlade-Chamberlain on the left? I'm not saying it's not working. We're not saying it's not working. He's actually looked okay these past few games. But it's like you need to get Darwin out as not even as a left winger for me, left forward. So he's still central. He can still interchange. Get him in the left forward. And I understand that, Klopp's probably thinking, oh, well, we don't have any other forwards. If you only have 2 forwards, why are you not just playing 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1? Why? Why are you not doing that? Because it worked when you changed. We were better than Arsenal, the best team in the league right now. We were better than Arsenal when we played
in that first half. Yeah.
Until Diaz came off, we were better than Arsenal. So, why on earth are you forcing the 4-3-3? He is forcing it, man. And again, the stakes are too high, and the players can't deal with how high the stakes are at the moment. The only players who look like they can deal with it is Thiago, Trent, and that is it. And Alisson.
Well, like I said earlier, I don't get why Klopp is playing a formation and a system that don't suit the players he has. Right? So we're playing this high line, right? Which don't suit Virgil anymore because Virgil's lost his pace, right? Which is evident yesterday. Virgil got burned yesterday, right? Virgil's lost his pace, right? What also I don't get about Virgil playing a high line is that the geezer came back from a serious knee injury, right? And you're asking a player that came back from a serious knee injury to play a high line and twist and turn and run a lot. Makes no sense. Got to protect him a little bit more.
Yeah.
So we're playing this high line, and with the high line, your midfield needs to press, right? All 3 players in your midfield need to press off the ball. They need to push up. They need to contain everyone in their own half. So when they're pressing, they're winning the first ball back. They're winning the second ball back. The fullbacks can then get forward and be their creators like they want to be. And you're containing everyone in their own half. The problem is Liverpool's midfielders can't press. I've been saying this for a while. Thiago is a wonderful player. He don't suit our system. Simple as that. Harvey Elliott is a right-sided midfielder or a right winger. For some reason, Klopp is persisting on him being a number 8 for Liverpool. He doesn't press, right? Thiago doesn't press. Fabinho is not capable of it anymore because he's fucked, right? So you're playing a game where you're playing a high line, full-backs as wingers, and you're playing 3 midfielders that can't press in a midfield. So they can't win the second ball back. So there's no containing of the retaining of possession. So when we lose the ball goes over the top, opposition scores. We are easier to play against than Nottingham Forest.
Yep.
Because we're not playing players in their we're not playing their players in correct positions. Thiago would look fantastic if Thiago was playing in a 4-2-3-1. because he'd be playing in a more natural position that suited to him. He's got protection from a player in front of him and a player beside him, where you can get him on the ball and let Thiago do Thiago stuff. But what we asking Thiago to do, playing a flat three where he's got to run far too much, be box to box, press, retain possession, and then do what Thiago does on the ball. Why do you think Thiago's looked shit for ages now? And we're going, where's this old Thiago where he used to play these beautiful passes here, there, and everywhere? He can't do it anymore because when he's on the ball, he's knackered. It's as simple as that. And then we've got forwards that don't press anymore.
But do you
Bobby presses. Mo don't press anymore. When was the last time Mo pressed on the wings?
Mo don't.
Right, Mo only runs.
The centre mid presses. The 8 comes in front of Mo and presses for him.
Yeah,
and then that leaves the gap.
Exactly. Our midfielders are more advanced than our forwards, right?
But
because they don't know how to press.
You know why I don't put that one on the players, Jamie?
It's Klopp.
Because every time I watch Liverpool play, when Bajcetic played the 8/6, I saw him try and press the centre back ahead of Bobby, ahead of Salah. I saw him try and press the centre back. When Harvey Elliott played the right sided 8, I saw him press all the way to the centre back. When Henderson plays, what do you see him do? Go and press the centre back. So for me, that is not a bozo gene thing. That is Klopp. That is someone, Pep, Klopp, someone in the backroom staff saying for one of the 8s to go and press the centre back ahead of all. That's instructions. Big up Sarah. Sarah Venan. That's it. It's instructions, because no matter what the personnel, that's what's getting said, bro. That's what's getting done. You know what I'm saying? I don't want us to bring. This is why when people say, "Yeah, bring in Bellingham, bring in this, bring in that," well, bro, like whoever we're bringing in, I don't want them to be pressed in the centre back from the 8. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just stupid now. It's become ridiculous.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel for these players. Like apparently Jerry's ripping into him on his show right now. But look, I feel for Thiago because he's doing a job. Like I don't get what Liverpool saw when Liverpool watched Thiago right at Barcelona and Bayern Munich. What did they see there to make him a pressing machine in a midfield front three, in the midfield three for Liverpool? He don't do that. He plays in a double pivot where he's protected because he is the player they want on the ball to do his thing, right, and control games of football. He's not there to chase and press and win second ball back and then play that counter press. That's not what he plays. Do you know what? I said this earlier. Everyone used to complain about the Brexit midfield for Liverpool, right? Wijnaldum, Milner and Henderson. If Wijnaldum, Milner and Henderson played yesterday, we don't lose that game. Do you know why? They know how to play. They know how to play the system. They know how to play the system. They know when to press, when not to press, when to fall back as well. None of our midfielders, by the way, know how to fall back. When was the last time? Our midfield and defence are like that far apart all the time. They never fall back and help the defence out, ever. And then you're playing Virgil, right? I feel for Virgil, yeah? Because the man come back from a serious knee injury, yeah? And then we're asking the man, who's lost obviously a little bit of pace, to play a really high line where he's going to get burned all the time. And then with that bad knee, he's got to continually twist and turn and run back to his own goal all the time. Yeah. Virgil won't look as bad if you play the team a little bit deeper, right? And protect him a little bit more. You'll see an excellent Virgil again, right? Stop trying to... It don't make sense. Harvey Elliott, I like the kid. I really do. But the problem is at the moment, Klopp is ruining him by continuously playing him in a situation that it don't suit the boy. You're playing him in a midfield three. Why do you think, I've been saying this all season as well, why do you think Trent has looked so exposed this season? Why do you think Trent looks so exposed this season? It's because the midfield can't do the job they once did, right? They can't do it no more. They can't press. They can't push up. They can't counter press. They can't win the second balls back anymore. And because of that, poor Trent is getting completely exposed, right? And it's not right. And Klopp keeps going with the same thing time and time and time again. So this is not me about... I'm angry at Klopp because he's our manager. He's our coach. He has to take blame. We can't sit here as a fan base time, week in, week out, and just blame FSG for absolutely everything. You know, John W. Henry hasn't told Jurgen Klopp, you know what? You know the players you got available, continue playing the high line and the pressing game that don't work anymore. Do you know what I mean? You've got to adapt to the players you've got. Mons, you know when we played Man City at Anfield? Look how deep we played. We played a containing game. Yeah. Who looked really good in that game? Fabinho looked decent. Virgil looked great. Gomez looked great. Yeah? We played that containing game that suited the players we had in that game. And everyone looked better for it.
But you know why we did that, though, Jamie?
Underdogs.
No, yeah, because City are better than us.
Yeah.
So
but why? He's got to take his ego to one side then. He's got to take his ego to one side.
He'll only take his ego aside for Pep Guardiola. That's the only time he'll take his ego aside. Because Brentford are inferior to us by quite a long way. That's why he still thinks, you know what? He thought he could rest Robbo today. He said, you know what? Yeah, nice. We won't rest Robbo today, innit? Like, do you know what I'm saying? It was that sort of demeanor. But at the end of the day, like, just call a spade a spade. Like, Klopp ain't the guy to fix issues. He lets the problem pass. And whatever car crash, whatever explosions, whatever storm is going on, you just have to ride it through until everyone comes back. Rather than thinking to yourself, all right, now that we don't have the personnel, why don't we play counter-attacking football until we get some midfielders and attackers back? So until Keita can play 90 minutes, until Jota and Firmino, or at least we get one more attack, as long as we have until we get 3 attackers back, we're not going to play 3 attackers. We'll play 2 attackers and we'll sit back and we'll adjust like how we did in the month of November, I believe, or October, where we got a few wins under our belt and we had, including the good performance against Arsenal, you know? Rather than doing that, do you know what we do? We go, you know what? No, we're going to persist with the 4-3-3. We're going to persist with it. We only have 2 attackers, but you know what? Because Ox is dynamic, we're going to play him on the left wing rather than go, let's just sit back until we get our guys back. Not until we get 10 signings in. No, we're not asking for that. Just adjust for the situation. But no, what we're doing is we're going over and over again. And do you know what? You remember when Klopp actually did change it in the month of October? What? You know when? When we lost game after game. When we kept losing games and drawing games. So once we dropped about 10 points, then Klopp goes, oh, wait, you know what? Maybe now we should do it. Do you know what I'm saying? Not do you know what? All right, cool. Let's just fix this up a bit. Let's just, let's fix it before it becomes a problem. No. Let's let it become a problem and then try and fix it or let the storm pass, which is how we deal with. That's how we deal with things at Liverpool. We know this. It's just frustrating the fact that how do you have such a good manager and why? And again, Klopp said this before the game. We don't have to splash the cash. Trust the players. Are you fucking stupid?
My philosophy, he said. My philosophy.
Trust the players at your disposal. How are they going to feel if they constantly feel like you're going to bring in a new player? Do you know what that does? It brings in player competition. Because when Robbo was shitting up the gaff, when Tsimikas came in, what happened? Oh, his performances got better.
That's what they've done with Gakpo. This is the thing now. You know, they need to be bringing that in for sure. Because when you look at it, all right, when you look at Tsimikas, he's a good backup to bring in. It's given obviously, you know, he's given Robertson the opportunity to get better. Look at Robertson this season, he was poor. Then he had that enforced injury. Tsimikas came in. All right. Yeah, he's not as good as Robbo, yeah, but you know what? He's an adequate backup. You know what I mean? And that's what they need to do.
He was bad yesterday, but he's a good backup.
Yeah. Generally speaking, you know what I mean? He does a job. But, you know, at the end of the day, that's what we need. This is why people like, you know, like Peps and all them people there, yeah, Guardiola, yeah, have got, you know, their team are thriving. They're constantly there because you know what? You're just a number. You are a number, yeah, and you will get replaced. That way of thinking is what Klopp needs to have. And honestly, the problem is we're not gonna get that with Klopp. It's just his way. And I don't like the attitude of, you know, we're not gonna be the best. We will beat the best. That was one of his quotes as well. That's something that this is a big club. This is not Man City.
Second place mentality. That is second.
Yeah, this is a Liverpool football club, right? That's like, you know, dripped in, you know, heritage. Yeah, number 2 is not good enough for us. First place is what needs to be. And you know what? Fine, he's done well, like in terms of bringing Liverpool an identity and bringing them back from the dark ages. You know, won a league and red. But you know what? Once you're at that level, okay, you consistently keep it up. You bring in players. You change. Sometimes you change your way of play. Sometimes you bring in a little formation tweaks here and there. Not when things are, you know, when they're bad and you're just plane crashing and you're trying to steady the plane. You need to just keep that in. You know, you need to keep that. That's what all great managers do. You know what I mean? They always improve the year, you know, each year when you win something or you're doing well, you bring in good players to bring competition, to keep you at that A game. He's not been doing that. He's not been doing that at all.
No, Klopp needs to change.
Can I just add on to that as well?
Go on, Monts.
In terms of just quickly, I feel like as well, because there's so much going wrong, and the thing is in Liverpool as well, like it's either everything's perfect or we don't know, or there's just so many people and so many things to blame. It just becomes a who's more to blame than this? Who's more to blame than that? And at this moment in time, like player competition, like I'm looking at Gakpo, yeah, and I ideally, just like Nunes, I wanted man to come in and think, you know what? If I don't have the best, I want to have the best before. Obviously, I want to enforce myself. But if I don't play 10 out of 10 every game, I'm playing for Liverpool. So Mo's going to chip in. You know what I'm saying? Darwin's going to chip in. Jota's going to chip in. Do you know what I'm saying? Or someone's going to chip in. Do you know what I'm saying? There's players there that can also do a job. Gakpo, if I'm Gakpo and I'm sitting here, you don't hear me, by the way. I'm a bit far away.
Yeah.
If I'm Gakpo, yeah. And I'm watching this. Imagine thinking, raw, if I miss one chance, they're gonna go on the other end and score. And that shit's on me. First day at work, first day in the office. Like, I'm an attacker. I play football all my life at various levels. Yeah? And it is comforting at times to know that even if you do miss, because no player is 100% efficient in front of goal at any level. No one is 100. No one is 80% efficient. No one's conversion rate. There's no footballer on the planet with a conversion rate of over 50%. Do you know how ridiculous that is to score 1 in 2 of every shots you take? So people are going to miss. Do you know what I mean? But it's about that pressure. And Gakpo is going to come in. And now the pressure, people are going to, because everyone else is so shit, they're going to immediately look to him to fix everything going forward. And that should not be the mentality going into a new team. I hate to say it. Look at Man United. They've been so shit for so long. Every single player that comes in is looked at as the Lord and Savior. And when they are not the Lord and Savior, it falls on the player. Either they become depressed, the fans turn on them, there's an unfair evaluation on the player, it splits the fan base, and it becomes a whole Darwin Nunes situation, realistically. It becomes a Jadon Sancho situation. I can't have that happening to Cody Gakpo because the team is aging. We need to protect the younger players. Do you know what I'm saying? So, like, at this point now, I'm past the point of saying Darwin Nunes is this, Darwin Nunes is that. I'm past the point of saying Joe Gomez is this, Joe Gomez. With what we've got, protect the players and fix the fuck up at this point, because now it's becoming a mental thing. It's the mentality is seeping through the players week in, week out. We're treating every game the same. And unfortunately now, any new player that comes in, you're walking into a car crash at the moment. And you don't want to adopt that mindset. That's not the Liverpool mindset. That's not the Liverpool way. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult. Everyone else has come into a winning team. Jota's come into a winning team. Do you know what I'm saying? Salah come into a winning. Well, I wouldn't go back as far as Salah, but you know, Fabinho, Allison, these guys came into a team on the up. Now that we're going in the opposite direction, do you know how hard it is for players to come in at any level, and any price tag and any wage structure to come in and help turn the ship around? And if they don't, so Lord help me, they are going to feel the wrath of the fans, and it's not fair.
No, it ain't.
Not fair.
Yeah, you're dead on, mate. You're dead on. You're dead on. I want to see against Wolves. Is it Saturday we play Wolves? I think it's Saturday, isn't it? FA Cup.
Yeah.
I want to see a change. I want to see it change. Klopp has got to change something. He can't be going. The coaching staff and Klopp have been poor this season. We can't neglect that. Yes, FSG are a problem. I've always been that fan who don't really care, but I am now like, well, FSG have got to go. You know, they can't do what we need them to do, so they need to leave and sell up. They will leave and sell up. It's just going to take time, right? Klopp and his coaching staff are more of the problem right now, if you ask me, than the ownership, right? They are the ones with the players every day of the week. Klopp is the one who's got good players. We can't say right now we haven't got good footballers in this team, because that would be a lie, right? We've got good players in this team, yeah? We can make a very good 11 with the players we got. But the problem is, if you put them in a system, I keep saying this, if you put them in a system that don't suit the players you've got, you're going to be exposed, right? That happened against Brentford. You know, I thought, I don't know about you, Mons, I've already said this, but I thought it was actually disgusting and out of order of Liverpool to play that expansive and that high line against Brentford, thinking, it's just Brentford, we're played this way, right? I actually thought it was out of order and didn't give Brentford the respect they deserve, right? Brentford beat Man City just before the World Cup at home. Brentford don't lose games of football when they go in front at home.
They've only lost to Arsenal.
Yeah. Brentford are a decent side, right? And we went there and thought, you know what, we're going to play this really high line and we're going to play really expansive and really, really open. That's disrespectful, man.
I think it would have been more logical to play like that while Tony was playing, because they don't play like that when Tony plays. Because Tony's a target man. Tony's not an in-behind player. I think, when it was announced that Tony wasn't playing, how do you sit there and go, we can play a high line when Mbeumo, rapid, Wissa, he's no slouch. You got legs on him, he's no slouch. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? So they knew Mbeumo was going up top. I can understand if you look and go, you know what, Tony's not exactly going to burn Gomez, he's not going to burn Konate, he's not going to burn any of our centre backs. Maybe he's the same speed as Matip at best. Yeah. But then Mbeumo, you saw what he did to Van Dijk. He's rapid. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? And even the fact that for me, like tactically, and I'm not going to come up with excuses now, but first 50 minutes, we've got it spot on. Before we lost the ball and Mbeumo goes in behind Van Dijk, Darwin Nunes misses a gilt-edged chance. I think Tsimikas had a good opportunity as well. And Brentford had shown nothing. Brentford came into this game wanting a draw. They wanted a draw at this game. And then when they realized, like every other team, when they play Liverpool, hold on a minute, why is it so easy to attack these man? That is the realization. The teams that would usually have 20% possession against us, they'll sit back, they'll have one counter, just like Palace. The Palace game at Anfield where Darwin got sent off, the Palace game. They sat back and were thinking, yeah, we'll just sit back and buy the opportunities. They scored from their first counter attack and thought, hold on a minute, why are these ones so open? This ain't the Liverpool we've had to play against for the last 5 years. Step up a bit, step up a little bit. Let me just get fucked up. Teams are realizing it. It's just how quickly can you realize it? Leicester realized it. Dewsbury Hall was shocked about the amount of space he had. He was shocked after he ran. He's like, what? Man ran through. I'm able to run through like this? Do you know what I'm saying? Some teams aren't even looking at it pre-game and thinking, yeah, we can get at Liverpool. They're noticing it in-game because they're not setting up to play against us. Do you know what I'm saying? The only team that set up to really play against us was Fulham on the opening day. They set up against us. They matched us. They didn't actually. They actually went toe to toe. The thing you say you should never do against Liverpool, they done it. You know what I'm saying? And they nearly took the 3 points. But at the end of the day, I think it's that for me, there's a mentality thing, man. Like we played really well in that first 15 minutes. It was the complete opposite to how we started against Leicester. Creating chances, moving the ball. But the issue was, because Henderson wasn't there, why did Virgil and Konate think it was okay for them to be the only two guys back and for Fab? Because Fab usually sits in between the centre-backs when that happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Fab went in, got skinned, Konate goes tight, gets turned, next thing you know, and Mbeumo's in on goal. Now someone has to take responsibility and be like, what you got? Why are we committing that many men forward like it's the last 5 minutes and it's still 0-0? It's the first 5 minutes and it's still 0-0. That's what it is. It's not the last 5 minutes. If Virgil van Dijk is 10 yards behind and Konate is 10 yards behind, even then it's still a problem. Do you know why? Because it's the same 2v2 that we concede every game. Why is it 2v2 every time? Why is it 2v2, 3v2 situations going into defensive transition? We're getting caught out like that. Do you know what I'm saying? We don't need that many men. They had 10 men in their box at one point. They had 7 men in their back line at one point. You do not need to match them with 7 men going forward. Not all the time. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I just feel like there was no leadership. There was just a lack of leadership. Who really picked up the players when we conceded that own goal? It was like, oh, here we go again. Oh, here we go again. A lot of the time when I see Van Dijk making tackles, he used to shout at man, what's going on? Whenever Van Dijk had to go to ground, prime Van Dijk, guys. Yes, I'm calling man prime at the age of 32. Prime. Having to say prime when you're that young. I'm not saying 32 is young, but we say prime. We say prime Terry, and Terry's 50. You see what I'm getting at there? But yeah, prime Van Dijk would shout at man whenever he'd had to go to ground, because you know his thing. He doesn't like to go to ground, because he might get his hair dirty or something. But at the end of the day, that's what happens. And when I see Van Dijk now have to go to ground, or he has to commit, he looks round, and it's not a look of disgust anymore. It's more a look of what? What's going on?
That's true.
He don't know what's going on. He's thinking, bro, like, where's my protection? And remember, Van Dijk wasn't horrific yesterday. He wasn't that good. He wasn't horrific. Van Dijk hasn't really changed much from last season, apart from the fact that he's lost his anchor. He's lost his anchor. There's complacency in there. Yeah. Has there been a drop-off slightly for Van Dijk? Yes. But Van Dijk's levels are high, so Van Dijk can perform at a 7 out of 10 and still be a very decent defender. You know what I'm saying? But when you lose the anchor in front of you in Fabinho, and like it or not, guys, Fabinho is not it at the moment. Whether you think he's done permanently or whether you think this is a tip in form, that's another conversation. But Fabinho is not good enough at the moment to protect anyone in the back line. And then if Fabinho is not good enough to protect anyone, you sure as hell know Jordan Henderson isn't. And you sure as hell know Thiago isn't. We saw what happened when Thiago played as a lone DM in 2020. You saw the car crash. It was yellow cards in 30 seconds every game.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Thiago comes with a worker. Tolisso, Goretzka.
Nunes.
Do you know what I'm saying? If you really wanted to employ Thiago and get the best out of him, he already looks like he's the best because he's that good of a footballer. But if you wanted him to be the best, do you know what they did? When we signed Thiago, man, them thought Henderson was going to be Goretzka. That's what they thought. They thought Henderson was going to be Goretzka. You know what I'm saying? They thought he was going to be Tolisso. Do you know what I'm saying? Every conductor needs someone next to them. Busquets has Iniesta. Xavi has Iniesta. There's always the guy who can do the leg work and is elegant. And if you're that good, you can do both. So Iniesta could do it all. Who else is there? Rodri. Rodri's first season, when he didn't have anyone next to him, everyone's thinking, who the fuck is this Rodri guy? And how the hell is he ever going to replace Fernandinho? Do you know what they did? Gundogan came back into the team. Rumors of him leaving the club, Gundogan come back into the team. You know what I'm saying? Gives them balance. Gives them balance. And just because luckily, not even luckily, Gundogan's that good, he can do everything else as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, again, Fabinho is not, and whether he's tired, whether he's just not that good anymore, whether his brain's just not doing what his body wants to do, God bless him. He's out now as well. God bless. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But it's time for you to go to the Serie A, my guy.
Yeah, I agree.
It's time.
Right,
Unless you're willing to come on, unless you're willing to come on for Liverpool and play 45 minutes or the last 30 minutes of a game for the next 2 years, it's time to move on.
I got big up on. So I got a call there from my my source who works for a certain broadcasting company that I can't mention, but he just called me. He's actually watching, so big up to him. He just called me and told me that. So right, he told me to tell you this, guy. So Liverpool to Bellingham ain't happening. So Bellingham is not coming to Liverpool now. That is done. They've finished with that. He looks like he's going to Real Madrid. Liverpool instead are going to buy Matheus Nunes in the summer from Wolves.
I'll take that.
That looks like a deal that's going to be happening. We're going to pay 6 million more than we could have in the summer.
60.
No,
6
6 million more. So it'd be 44 million.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
So it'd be 44 million pounds. And Liverpool want to buy 3 midfielders starting from January, getting 1 in this January and 2 in the summer for next season. They want 3 midfielders.
What word does that spell out, Jamie? Reactive or proactive?
Oh, I know. I know.
Isn't
it? They have realised, apparently they have realised buying Bellingham for 130 million on his own would not change anything to this midfield so much. So, and if you spend 130 million on Bellingham, there ain't enough coppers in the tank left to get anyone else. And we need 3 midfielders. So 3 midfielders are the ones we go get. And to be fair, unless we got taken over by like a state ownership, we'd have to still get Bellingham and then 3 midfielders anyway, you know, which still means you'd have to spend 300 million, right? This way, we can get Matheus Nunes in. They want 2 other midfielders. They want 2 number 6s and a number 8. That's what they're after. That's what I've been told. But the Matheus Nunes thing will be done for the summer because of the rules. You can't play for 3 clubs in one season. So he can't be registered to 3 clubs in one season. So they can buy him in January, but they can't register him till the summer. So there might be a thing where they buy him in the January and he stays at Wolves, and they can't register him and then register him in the summer. But he can't be registered to 3 teams in one season is the rule. So yeah, it'll be a summer transfer. But I've been saying this for a while. People don't like this fact, yeah. But Liverpool don't need world-class midfielders for this system to work. They need pressers and runners. That's what they need. And players that have got enough quality about them to retain possession and do what they do with it. I don't understand where this narrative has come that Liverpool need Enzo Fernandez, Bellingham and Barella. You know, if you get them 3 players and you play Klopp's system, we still got the same problem. We won go back to Klopp's system when it worked best, yeah? Won the Champions League and Premier League, right? We looked unbeatable, right? Midfield weren't world class. Yeah, Fabinho, Wijnaldum, Milner and Henderson. Yeah? Lallana on odd games, right? Keita on odd games. Wasn't a world-class midfield.
It was, you know what, Jamie? It was different midfielders with different situations and different games.
But it won everything, you know, exactly. But they knew the system as well. They knew the system and the system worked, right? You've got players at the moment that can't play this system. Harvey Elliott can't play a 4-3-3 system under Jurgen Klopp, right? It's not working. He looks terrible. Thiago can't play a 4-3 system under Jurgen Klopp. It don't work, right? Fabinho looks absolutely shattered because he has to do the work of 3 men. Because he's the only one who can do the Klopp system, but because the other 2 around him can't do it and won't press and win second balls, Fab has to cover all 3 of them. So and that's why he's absolutely effed. That's why his legs are gone. You know, it just... And then you got forwards. Mane used to press on the left-hand side. So Mane used to be our best attacking defender because he would get back and help Robbo out. How many times did you see Mane get back and play and help Robbo out and they pass to each other in their own box and start counter-attacks? Yeah? That's gone, right? Diaz, to his fairness, does that, but Diaz is injured at the moment, right? Salah don't do it anymore on the right-hand side because Salah conserves his energy now because Salah's all about goals. So Salah conserves his energies. So he doesn't do that no more. So you've got all these players that don't do the system anymore, but Klopp keeps playing the system. So if we're going for midfielders, I'd rather us go for midfielder. This might be unfashionable and people might not actually like it, but I'd rather us get midfielders that suit the system and we go back to winning. It might not be fashionable. It might not be the players people are wanting, and expecting, and these world-class midfielders to come into our team. But if Jurgen Klopp is not going to change the system and everyone wants to keep Jurgen Klopp at the club and play his system and he's not willing to change it, you need to get players in that suit his system. And if they're not the world-class names, but we go back to winning, does it matter?
No, absolutely not. To be fair, I mean, who cares? Look, Liverpool haven't bought a world-class player in years. You know what I mean? And to be fair, like you've just said, if it gets my team top of the league or challenging Man City and winning cups and Champions Leagues and stuff like that, yeah, I don't care. Genie wasn't a world-class player. You know what I mean? He came with promise and a whole bunch of things. Came in, did the system. Fabinho, same thing. Naby Keita, potentially when he come, he wasn't world-class. None of these guys were world-class. Luis Suarez wasn't a world-class player. He left as a world-class player. You know what I mean? So
Never signed
doesn't
them.
matter.
The only world-class player we've signed is Thiago in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Thiago, yeah.
Alisson, people just forget that Fabinho was a very good DM coming from Monaco who was in demand. Alisson was Szczesny's understudy. He had one good season under his belt and one good Champions League campaign under his belt. Take it in.
Yeah.
Came well.
I think even with the midfield options, like when we had Keita, Lallana, obviously Milner, Henderson, Fabinho, and obviously Curtis Jones coming through. When we had that midfield, do you know what the thing is with that midfield? We used different, and Ox as well. We had different midfielders for different situations. So because, as Jamie said, the machine was going so well, if you removed one cog and then you put in another cog, the machine's still running perfectly. So when there was a time where someone got injured, it might have been Wijnaldum. Someone got injured. No, definitely wasn't Wijnaldum. Someone got injured, and Ox came in, and everyone was like, "Oh, fucking hell, Ox again." And then he went on to, you saw the goal against Southampton. He fit in like a glove, bro. Like Milner's come in. Oh, fucking hell, Milner. His performance against Leicester when we smacked them. He's like players are able to come in from the fringe of the squad, and it would not affect the system because the system was working so well. And that's why in 26 games, he won 24, drew 1 and lost 1.
Yeah.
That is
why. And as you say, them players that came in as well suited the system they were coming into.
Yeah. And we wouldn't always get it right, by the way. There was the game at West Ham that the game at West Ham that we lost, that we drew, where Mane scores and it was really snowy, where Mane cuts and he scores. I think you don't mind what game I'm talking about, where Lallana did the really fancy footwork.
Yeah.
Like, there's games like that where it's not always going to work, where I think Lallana and Milner played that game. You know what I mean? And where sometimes you might get a little bit wrong. But the fact is, if Lallana would come in for the odd 2 games, or Keita would come in and play a run of games, you'd ultimately see the same traits and the same thing. And it was great. But when you're seeing the same wrong traits in different players, it's a double-edged sword. Now it's double homicide. Whether it's whoever's playing that right-hand sided 8 is pressing higher than the attacker. Why? It's a half press. City, one thing I noticed was that Man City, when we played Man City in the Carabao Cup, no one can tell me that was that's no demolition game. That game was played at a high intensity. That was a Premier League standard football match.
Yeah.
One of the better ones, actually. That was no
Great
middle.
game.
You know what I'm saying? And in that game, what I noticed was City's press was so sustained. The players were veering left and right and waiting for one bad touch. And then they will go. And then someone goes. It reminded me of our press for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then now, when I see Liverpool's press, it's a half press. Either the centre mid presses, it leaves a hole, goes from the centre back to the right back to their left centre mid, because our right centre mid is now pressed to centre back. Salah's not coming inside. Salah's staying wide. So now there's a big gap. Fabinho comes across. Ball gets passed by. Bypass Fabinho. Now Thiago's now the last man in front of the defence. Thiago's like 5'4". He's like 5'1". So what the fuck is he going to do? Unless he has to go to ground like he's had to do how many times this season. Now Thiago is the last man in front of the attack. And there's always a man over. You see, it happens every game. As soon as that right 8 goes and presses, and the crowd is, oh, look how intense it is, isn't it? No. It's leaving a gap in the midfield every time because Salah's not tucking in. And if Salah don't tuck in, Trent tucks in. Now there's no one at right back. And all of a sudden it's Trent's fault. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never really break down stuff tactically like that. But, like, this is the type of stream we're having right now, isn't it? So that's what I see game in, game out.
Mate, that's what we're all saying, man. I mean, we're all saying, the problem is, we're all saying it, we all see it, but our big German managers don't see it. And that's the issue.
Do you know something here? Do you think this system, that he obviously swears by, do you think this system can still work in this, going forward?
Yeah,
like, do you think, like, obviously we had, pressers in midfield, hard workers, and the wing backs, with the assists and stuff like that, Do you think that still happens now, even with like workers in midfield? Because that's what we're moaning. Well, not moaning, but that's what we're talking about. We don't press enough in midfield. But do you think the system still works going forward?
Well, let me just answer these super chats and I'll answer that.
Yeah.
Big up Jamrock. He says that all of our current mids play better in low blocks. That is completely true.
Yeah.
And big up DJ Brains as well. Big up you, man. We need to play a 4-2-1-3, sign a CDM, Amrabat and Fabinho CDM, sitting one of them going forward occasionally, Amrabat CDM and solid centre mid. I agree with that. That is what Liverpool need. And like you say, Baz, with what you said there, I think I'm going to go on Jurgen. So I'm going to look at what Jurgen thinks, I think Jurgen believes in his system. If Jurgen didn't believe in his system, he wouldn't play it. Right? It's as simple as that. He believes in it. And I think he knows he's not got the right players to play that system at the moment, because he's extremely stubborn and his ego won't let him say, right, my system don't work anymore with the players I've got. I need to change it. He needs to change it. But you get the players in that midfield right now, I think the system works, because you get players in that. I'm sorry, my wife just messaged me and that took me right off then. You get players in that can play this system, like Mont's saying, back when we had, Milner, Henderson and Wijnaldum. These are not sexy footballers, like when we won the league and Champions League, well, individually, our midfield, was it as good as Bayern Munich's, Barcelona's, Juventus's, Man City's, Man United's, all that at the time? Probably not as individual talent, but because they knew the system and were very good in Klopp's system, it worked. Now, I think the system will work if you have the right players in there. Like I said, if we had that Brexit midfield yesterday, I don't think we lose that game, because Klopp, you need play. We don't win the second ball back, Baz. This is the problem. When the ball gets turned over now in midfield, when do we ever win the second ball back? And because we don't win the second ball back and we play this high line with everyone pushed up, we get counted on straight away, and it's 2 passes and it's a goal. We're easy to play against. That's why teams now decide to drop back. No one goes at us toe for toe. What they do, like Brentford yesterday, they let us have the ball for 10, 15 minutes. We create nothing, right? And then they're like, right, they've not created nothing. We'll start getting the game now. And what they do, they start to then press on our midfield, right? So the opposition starts to press on our midfield. And then because of that, they win the second balls back. And when they've won the second balls, what they do, it's just a simple ball over the top every time. No one plays through us. It's a simple ball over the top every single time. And then they're on our goal straight away. All the time. All the time. And that needs changing. And I think if you get the right midfield in, with the right players and play this system, I do think that would change. But yeah, Klopp's got Klopp's got to do something because it don't make sense. Go back to doing something different, like Mont said in the month of October when we had no players. Klopp changed it up. You know, we weren't playing the high line as much. You know, I remember that the high line was nowhere near as high. I remember people on commentary and people talking about it. Yeah, we ain't playing nowhere near as high now. We're not getting caught on the counter as much. You know, we're not getting caught on the counter as much. You know, he needs to do something. He needs to change it up, my man. But for your question, I do think if he gets the right players in, then I think his system works. But I don't know.
Yeah, it's difficult because I mean I look at some of the players like obviously Hendo's obviously coming to that stage and he did a lot for Trent that people obviously didn't look at, you know, that which gave Trent his opportunity, you know what I mean, knowing that he had cover there. Can we get someone in that plays like a Hendo? Do you know what I mean? Like will allow us to play that system, you know, things like that, you know. It's difficult. It's going to have to, you know, they're going to have to be like some astute signings to get us back to playing that way. And, you know, with what's, you know, with the people that are doing the transfers at the moment, do we have these guys in now that can get those players in? That's the thing. Whereas we were very good at buying players, you know, we were sourcing them really well. But whether we get these players in again is a different thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, we are going to finish up there. We've been going almost 3 hours, so we're going to finish up there. There's so much to chat about today. I think a lot of us got it off our system. Yeah, but guys, I'll be back again tomorrow. I'm going to be talking about transfers and the transfer policy tomorrow and why this club has got their arse about face. But thank you very much for joining me today, guys. Mont, thank you very much for coming in late notice, my man. Thank you.
No worries.
Appreciate it.
Can I just say something quickly? So later on, I'm going to do another live stream on my channel. It's a little bit more relaxed one, but it's going to be about Gakpo, how Klopp is going to plan on using him and stuff like that. So that's going on. It says 7:30, but I think it's going to be around 6. So anyone that's subscribed, just hit your notification. I will go live around 6:30 latest. So yeah, anyone wants to join in, feel free. Just, you know, but big up.
Big up yourself, bro.
Mont, you got anything planned?
No, my head is on fire. But I am 28 or 29 subscribers off of 3,000. So
wicked, man.
If there is anyone who would like to subscribe, obviously I know a lot of Jamie's fan base obviously is a fan of Big Six Bands as well. So I'm always grateful for that. Comments always showing me love. So for you guys, there's as I said, there's always new subscribers. Obviously, Jamie, congratulations on hitting 3K yourself as well. Don't think I noticed these things. I always see them, you know what I'm saying. So yeah, 30 away. So if anyone wants to just edge me towards that, I'd be, of course, really grateful.
There you go, guys.
Yeah, listen, guys, you need to, if you haven't already subscribed, you know what? Go and check Mont's out, his channel, Big Six Bands, epic shows, you know what I mean? Full of Liverpool stuff, rivals point of view, brilliant panelists, man talks facts. So seriously, check him out.
Appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it.
Exactly. Yeah, go there and subscribe to both guys. Make sure you subscribe to Baz as well. His channel's name's right there. A link is in the chat. So make sure you go and subscribe, guys. Yeah, let's get Monts into that 3K before the evening turns, guys. So make sure there you go. There's Baz's channel as well. Go and subscribe to both guys. Go and subscribe to both and get their subs up, my man. Get their subs up. All doing good stuff. We're all one community. We're all one community in this Liverpool YouTube world. Fuck the Arsenal YouTube world. It's all. But guys, big up to everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and I'll see you all